Welcome back, everybody, to the Tradewaiters podcast, the comic book club, where we read a different trade paperback every single week. I'm Daniel, you're Nathan, you're Carter. We're brothers. We read comics.
Carter's hijacked this podcast.
Yeah, he's back again.
He's made us read another backwards book.
I locked the door, but he got in somehow.
I'm taking over.
He's taken over and made us read a backwards book. I'm not happy about it. Welcome to manga waiters, more like.
Good one.
Yeah.
We got different time codes in the description. We got the book, which is One Piece.
Unfortunately.
We got Back Matter Matters, the poll list. But we start with what, Carter?
The news.
The news.
All right, Carter, what news you got for us?
None on the top of my head of anything.
Carter's like Hurricane Hillary.
That's pretty much it. But the One Piece movie is dropping soon.
Show.
Yeah.
It's a movie.
Oh, like the actual movie.
The movie,
from
yeah.
the anime.
I mean, the show's still dropping. It's about to get...
It's an anime movie?
It
One
is.
Piece? Okay.
Well, no, it's not. It's a in real life movie or
It's
a live action. That's what I meant
Wow.
to say.
You mean the Netflix one?
The movie that's dropping?
I think it's a show.
The live action one? That's a show.
Is this a show?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a movie this whole time.
No, they're doing the show again, but in person, in the flesh.
Oh, that's weird. I thought it was a movie. Oh,
It would be weirder if it was a movie because there's so much.
that's true. But they could just like...
Because, like, how do you end it to be like, all right, that's a movie?
Oh,
know what I
here
mean?
it is. I found it.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense. I didn't know that, actually. I thought it was a movie.
Fake news
This
from
whole
Carter.
But yeah, that'll be out by the time this comes out. So we'll see how
Are you
that
gonna watch
goes.
it?
Yeah.
Are you going to watch it?
I'll probably watch the first episode.
You'll
I'll
watch it.
I'll watch the first episode and maybe cringe and maybe see how much I cringe and then decide if I want to watch
All
the rest.
live action versions are just so...
But what if this
into
breaks the mold, dude?
Yeah,
I don't know.
what
I
if this
don't
changes
really
everything?
think so. The dude who plays the main character, Luffy, he's never watched a lick of anime or read anything like that.
How do you know?
I saw a video where he met the actual Japanese voice actor,
Yeah.
and he was like actually surprised, but then he also said he's like, I haven't watched any anime, but I know you because you're me.
Oh.
And so that was pretty interesting.
Well, news, Nathan.
What?
Apple TV Plus is coming out with a Godzilla series. It'll be called Monarch Legacy of Monsters. It'll be like 10 episodes. It'll be like jumping around 3 different time periods.
Is that the Kurt Russell and his son?
Yeah, so Kurt Russell and his son Wyatt Russell are going to be playing like the same character, which is kind of cool.
This doesn't really seem like comic book news, Daniel.
Nathan, Godzilla. There's Godzilla comics.
It didn't originate as a comic. But I guess,
But there's comics that make us happy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know. It looks pretty cool, honestly.
I will have to get Apple TV Plus. There's a lot of good stuff on there, it seems like.
Dude, you can have like the login.
Give it to me.
Mom's got it.
Okay, I'll ask her for
I'll
it.
just say it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Daniel, there's a new Walking Dead video game coming out called Walking Dead Destinies, and the game goes through the events of seasons 1 through 4 of the show, The Walking Dead, and gives players the choice to rewrite the story and experience what-if scenarios.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So I guess you could just do the show if you wanted to.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, just do it perfectly. Like,
Yeah,
you have to like remember who dies at one point.
Yeah, I'd be like, no.
I bet there's like an achievement for that.
It's like Daryl doesn't die here, so it's like, no, I can't.
It's
do
like unoriginal, you know.
yeah, scripted.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I like the Walking Dead games.
I would just shoot Shane as soon as I saw him.
Oh yeah, I wonder if that's gonna change things.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's an interesting concept because the Walking Dead games did so well. So it's like maybe we'd make a game based off the show that's based off the comic book.
Yeah, it's pretty meta.
Yeah, it is very
A
meta.
lot of layers to that.
Mm-hmm.
In other not really comic book news, Fargo is getting season 5 coming November 21st. I'm
You like
really
that
stoked
show?
about it. It's like me news,
Do you like that show?
No. The first 2 seasons are fire.
Really?
But like the first and third season are really good because like different stories each time. 4 was okay. 2 was all right.
How's the movie? Did you watch the movie?
Movie's incredible. Yeah. Have you watched the movie?
No, I haven't watched anything Fargo. I don't understand it. I don't understand the continuity. Which one do I do first?
The movie.
Any of them?
They don't even like relate.
Oh,
like it's not like
is it like anthology seasons?
Yeah. So the seasons.
Is there a through line? Is it like drugs?
No, I don't know what the through line is, honestly.
Okay.
There's just when people get killed and stuff. But
oh, cool.
Yeah, that was like on my list of like movies to tell you to watch.
Okay.
When do you start your new job?
Monday.
Fuck.
Less time for movies.
Dang.
lame.
You still gotta watch the movies, I tell you.
Yeah, okay, I'll try. I'll see if I can make it fit.
Yeah. Anyway,
we have Todd McFarlane is making variant covers for comics, but it's gonna include his McFarlane toys instead. So it'll be like recreating iconic like covers, but with the McFarlane action figures. So like the
So
Bane
just
one
characters?
where he like breaks his back.
that's just a picture.
It's just a picture of his toys doing the covers.
Oh my God.
So there's this like great Alan Scott Green Lantern one that everyone will buy probably, and then there's this Action Comics.
That's kind of cringe, dude.
It is pretty cringe because it's like
I'm doing covers, but I'm just taking pictures.
yeah, it's just marketing for his toy line,
Yeah,
and it's like
that's crazy.
maybe he's trying to be like, wow, look at how close you can get to the comics with these toys. But
Yeah.
no, it's a little bit weird.
I guess it can give you ideas for how to pose them or whatever.
Yeah.
if you take them out of the box. But
It's interesting. It's clever, I guess, but
yeah, that'll happen for like 3 weeks, and then we'll never see it again. It'll just be some weird thing that happened.
yeah, some weird run of variant covers.
Yeah, I have no other news.
There's gonna be another like Batman '89 sequel called Echoes.
Like
And-
a comic.
Yeah, comic. Joe Quinones coming back for it. So
Oh,
James Tynion and Joshua Hickson are doing a horror comic called The Deviant coming out in November. So that's pretty cool.
what's Hickson done?
He's done The Plot. He's done a pirate comic, and I don't know what you would have known him from, to be honest. But he's the one I got like the Batman original art piece from.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, that's how
That's
I
him.
know his name.
Yeah.
Nice,
So I like his stuff a lot.
sweet.
And I
The
think-
Deviant doesn't sound like a very good name. Sounds like a name of a movie that came out in like 2005.
honestly, the poster looks like, or the cover looks like it was a 2005 poster.
Is that
movie.
Santa?
It is Santa.
Is it a Christmas comic?
It's a Christmas horror comic. Daniel.
Christmas horror
Oh,
comic.
that's
or maybe
That
a
looks
Christmas
pretty
noir.
cool.
I don't know. Oh, it says a Christmas story. I didn't even catch that.
Dude, how
called
did
The Deviant.
you not catch the fucking Santa on the front?
I thought it was just a guy in a red coat. I saw it and I was
Because
like,
that
oh,
exists.
He's
well, I
stylish.
saw that it was Joshua Hickson, and I'm like, this is news for me. And
No
I
man has a
screenshot it.
red coat.
Well, okay, well now I'm really more excited for this now.
Okay, now you should have started with that. I
I
would have
should've
been more
started
sold
with
on it.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to undersell it to you so that you could discover it on your own and then be really excited.
Yeah, now I'm more excited because my expectations are so low.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
we'll have a better Christmas noir story to read.
So is that just the first issue comes out in December?
November 15th is when it comes out.
So the first issue.
First issue.
How many issues is it?
I don't know.
He should just drop the trade in November.
That would be kind of sick.
We review it,
Yeah, but I don't think they're releasing trades for us.
They should.
They should.
That's why we built this podcast.
We have that poll,
Dude, because then if the first one comes out in November and it's like 4 issues, then the last issue comes out in February.
Maybe they'll double ship it.
Maybe. Just be a little awkward,
Let me see what he says. Hold on. If he's talked about it.
I'm sure he'll have another episode on like off panel.
Yeah, all I said that is we can finally talk about it. The Deviant, it's coming November 15th, and then he didn't talk about it. So I don't know.
All right.
I assume it would be a limited thing, but
Shall we get into the book?
yeah, let's get into the book that we
Yeah.
read.
What did we read, Carter?
We read One Piece.
By who?
Oda.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just Oda to
It's
me.
like Ichiro Oda.
Eiichiro Oda.
Did you know
he's
Oda off the top of your head?
Goat legend. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Because when I was on TikTok for a while after watching the new like really good episodes of One Piece coming out on TikTok, there'd be like it's like wish kids. You know how they get a wish?
Yeah.
And then someone wished, like it was a joke, like he wished Oda would tell him the truth about the One Piece, and then he had, and it was like a meme about him going, telling the Wish Kid and then like killing him afterwards.
Oh my God.
So he can't tell the truth of the One Piece.
Wow. So there, how many chapters into this? And there's no
Like almost 1,100.
Holy shit.
Can you
And
imagine?
how many episodes of the show are there?
Like almost 1,100.
Yeah, it's like
Is it like 1 for 1, like 1 chapter, 1 episode?
Not quite.
No,
so I don't
actually.
get how the math works.
Yeah, you'd think they would have Game of Thrones it by now.
we've read 8. We read 8 chapters, but I think
It's only like 4
really
episodes.
only covers like 4 episodes. Yeah.
Really?
So I don't know. How
I guess
it
they
works.
must have just extra stuff, maybe more time in action.
filler.
I've heard that they
There's a lot of
do
fillers.
some filler stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Most of them are really good. There's some that are like, this is just I gotta watch it just cause
Yeah.
Mhm.
How much of the show have you watched?
all of it.
He's
Every
caught up,
single
dude.
episode.
He's been caught up for like 2 years.
I still can't believe that.
a lot of people like skip episodes, but I just never had because I knew if I skipped an episode, I would have been mad about it. So I just pushed it through.
Were you mad about
so
it?
you're-
Some of the
No,
episodes?
I wasn't
So
actually.
you're a
I'm
purist.
glad. Yeah.
Mm.
Nice.
But this is the first time I've ever read a single manga page of One Piece.
nice.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
and
you
I
read 200 of
I
it.
Pretty
didn't-
1-to-1?
I didn't enjoy it as much.
No.
I just kind of like you could see like I guess I'm not the best reader. I don't really like reading books that much, but like you can tell the enthusiasm and like the joy that Luffy has just for being alive and being free and doing the stuff that he does.
Mm-hmm.
Just doesn't translate as well into the books.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, he does seem pretty optimistic about being a pirate, even though he's like really not equipped.
Yeah.
But
no.
I thought it was okay.
I thought it was a lot of fun because like I really didn't know like where the story started, had like the rough understanding of what this is and like how it goes. I'll see like, clips of it and whatnot, but like just kind of seeing like how it started was like super interesting.
Yeah, the only thing I knew is that his name is Luffy. He's got a straw hat, and then he's very stretchy. But I didn't know how all that happened.
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting.
I don't even know if I knew that it was like a pirate story, like solely. I just figured it was set in a time where there were pirates. But I do like that idea, like a story that's like solely set in like pirate like era, and it's about like their whole adventure and stuff. But
I like that there weren't like demons in this because I feel like a lot of manga is like a lot of demon stuff.
or it's like mermaids that are like scary. You ever see those?
No.
Like Pirates of the Caribbean, where
Yeah.
they're like I
I'm
get
sure
what you're saying.
Are there mermaids in
yeah,
this later?
there are. They're not like they're not like scary ones like
You're
Pirates
just glad
of the
that wasn't in the
Caribbean.
first volume.
Yeah, no, I would have been
They-
like, fuck this.
They go to an island that's underwater,
Mm-hmm.
and like they take their ship underwater to go to this island,
Whoa.
and they like stay there for a little while, and they like solve a bunch of like tyranny that's happening there, and
Do some side
but
missions?
there's basically.
Okay, nice.
For sure.
But there's like mermaids, and there's
Are there demons later?
no,
Okay.
not exactly. No,
Does the devil fruit actually come from the devil?
that's a good question. I haven't gotten into the in depth of how the devil fruits became a thing. It hasn't really got into
Yeah, just like what you've
just
seen.
watching it. They don't really go into the depths of where devil fruit comes from. I'm assuming that's gonna, like right now where I'm at, they're going into like the secrets of the government, like specifically Luffy's devil fruit. Like they're talking about his devil fruit
Uh-huh.
and where it comes from and how it's like highly classified and no one's supposed to have it because it unlocks this thing.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm just about to get to the part where it locks the deep secrets of the devil fruit, but I don't know.
Is there like only so many devil fruits? Is it like limited?
That's what I was under the impression of when I started.
Yeah, you'd think so.
But as I've watched, there's a lot of different pirates
They
that
just
have
keep
devil
popping
fruits.
up.
Yeah. They all have different powers, and it's actually really cool because none of them are repeat. None of them are like similar. They're all different, and they all have different abilities. and
There's
it's
no
really
other
cool.
stretchy one?
Nope.
What's the best one other than the gum fruit?
Okay, so there is
Just one. You don't have to name them all. Just like your favorite.
There's one that my favorite is. So the best pirate, Goldie Roger, who died, is the
Mhm.
guy who had the money, wealth, fame, and power.
His name is Goldie?
Well,
It's not
it's
just
Gold
Gold.
Roger.
his name is Roger,
But they
but
call
like
him
his
Goldie?
last name is Gold, and then his middle name is D, so it's Goldie Roger.
Oh.
Yeah,
Um,
dude, don't fact check him.
I know. I just didn't know.
The one who rivaled him, his name is Whitebeard, but it's funny because he doesn't have a white beard; he has a white mustache. But his devil fruit
He's
literally
working on it.
he literally makes earthquakes. Like he punches the sky, it like cracks from his like he like punches the side and then he like punches the air and the air cracks and it makes earthquakes.
Oh,
So does it make like tsunamis because there's earthquakes?
Yeah, literally.
That's pretty dope.
There was one and they're like breaking into like this marine fortress to rescue somebody and he uses the earthquake thing to make a tsunami and it's fucking sick actually.
That's very fun.
Sweet.
That's probably my favorite.
This, like, I know it's like a manga and mangas can get like kind of ridiculous as far as like how people look, you know, like proportions and whatnot and just like practical accessories and whatnot. But I think this has like one of the best like character designs out of any book just because like everyone is just like so different looking, you know? And
I see what you mean.
like there'll be like characters in like, I don't know, some other anime where it's like some mask that they're wearing. I'm like, how do they see out of that? Because there's no eye holes or something. And so I'm like, that's not practical. And and then like or like you watch an anime and like 5 characters look like exactly the same because they have the same haircut or whatever. And so I don't know, just like this art style and then like how he designs everyone. Especially watching like the anime, like, you know, with the different colors and whatnot, they all separate really well.
Yeah, they're all different, which I like about that. But there are some characters that look pretty ridiculous, and we're gonna meet one of them in the chapters. His name is Helmeppo.
Yeah,
Helmeppo, which is the son of what we'll get to. But he just looks stupid.
Yeah,
but I liked how
but
I liked how on Shonen Jump when I'm scrolling through it, they have like those little like in between chapters they have like this like fun fact of some sorts.
Oh, I did like that.
And then I saw how they were gonna redraw the captain of the Marines and how stupid he looked, and I was like, I'm glad they didn't do it.
Yeah,
like that.
There's kind of back matter in this.
It's like,
you know,
in between the chapters. I got that too in mine as well.
So I thought that
really
was pretty cool.
Did you have anything at the very end or no?
Yeah, I did.
Really? Like
there
back matter?
There was like weird back matter.
Oh fuck yeah! Let's get into it.
So yeah, One Piece Chapter 1. Everyone wants to be the king of pirates. Goldie Roger, who was the king of pirates before his death, announced that he had hidden his treasure, and he's like, "Go fucking find it. It's gonna be like the coolest treasure. Just trust."
Yeah.
And it should be pretty easy to find. It shouldn't take you more than 1,000 chapters.
But it's somewhere.
It's somewhere. Yep, you'll find it
in the world.
And so then later we meet a young monkey Luffy who wants to be a pirate. He's like a little child at this point, and he stabs himself in the eye to prove his toughness. But he can't swim. So it's pretty big red flag.
Yeah. So
this artist has a very particular way of drawing mouths and like creating really exaggerated expression.
Well, at least just in this one with like when he's like a kid.
Like, no, like the whole thing,
really?
The whole time.
Yeah,
when they're yelling, dude, they look like Muppets.
Well, that's like an anime thing.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, no,
but I like that. I think it's funny.
I think it's fun.
I think it's funny, and like it shows that they're really like being fun. They're like messing around, but they're still like kind of angry.
Like this is the first time we ever see Luffy.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, does he just look like that?
That's the goat.
Yeah. That's the goat right there.
That's your king of pirates right there.
Yeah. He's going to be the future king of pirates.
I watched the episodes of the anime that covered what we read, and they didn't do this like origin stuff until like the 4th episode.
Weird.
So it like starts off with him like fully grown and starting his like adventure or whatever.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it does.
Because like you gotta like grab people in the first chapter.
Yeah.
And I think it does that in the second half or whatever, where he's like an adult.
Yeah. This is like a pretty long first chapter, isn't it?
Yeah, dude. Manga first chapter is always like 50 pages.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, you gotta get everything out there, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I was reading it. I was like, damn, this is still going.
I'm like, damn, we have 8 chapters of this shit. But
then the rest of them fly.
Yeah, they do.
There's some mountain bandits that walk into a bar and harass the pirates out of there for alcohol, but they've already like drunk all the alcohol there.
Yeah, what was it called? Grog?
Grog.
Yeah.
What is that?
I love pirate shit. You don't know grog? It's just an alcohol.
Really?
Yes, yeah.
In the show, it's
Yeah,
just
basically.
sake.
Or like how their guns are like blunderbuss.
What does that mean?
It's like a pirate gun.
Oh, really? Is that what they call them?
Yeah, they call them blunderbuss buses.
That's dumb.
Blunderby.
Okay.
It's not dumb. Have you ever seen anything pirate themed, pirate related? You've seen Pirates of the Caribbean. Those are blunderbuss.
I didn't know that's what they were called.
Yeah,
like pirate guns are cool.
I guess I just know that from Sea of Thieves, but
I guess
game,
that's
by the way.
fair.
Maybe it's just in Sea of Thieves. You ever thought of that?
no,
Did they
it's
say
not.
blunderbuss in this?
They don't say it, but if you look up blunderbuss right now, I'll bet you $10 it comes up with a pirate gun.
No, thank you.
Okay. So the pirates there are red-haired Shanks men. They attack Shanks and then they leave, and then Luffy goes to stand up to them, and then he realizes that he now has stretchy powers after unknowingly eating the devil fruit that Shanks men had just stolen. I don't really laugh at comics a whole lot, but there is a part where he finds out that he's stretchy, and then the next panel he's freaking out and he's like doing that like Muppet sort of yell. He's like, "What's wrong with me?"
It looks like Gonzo, dude.
Dude, yeah, he does look like Gonzo. And it's like, "What's wrong with me?" And I thought that was pretty funny.
I know you can't really like tell from this, but like in the show, they make Shanks. He's like red-haired, right?
Mhm.
But he's super tan, and I've never seen a ginger that was like that tan. You know what I mean? It's unrealistic.
Yeah.
That's the most unrealistic thing about this book.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
don't really know
goodness.
anybody's hair color unless it's black or it's Shanks, because I know his hair is red. But
Yeah, like
I remember like seeing a random photo like while I was reading this about the anime. And does Kobe have yellow or pink hair?
Yeah, he has
Yeah.
pink hair.
I never would have guessed that.
No,
Oh, yeah.
no.
I looked at him as more of like a blonde.
Yeah, Kobe has pink hair. The right hand man that we meet in here, I
Zoro.
think his name is Benjamin. No.
No.
The right hand man of red-haired Shanks.
Isn't it Zolo?
In the book, it's
I-
Zolo. And in
Yeah,
the show,
I
it's
actually
Zoro.
looked it up because at L. Here, let me read it out.
Okay.
It says there is no L sound in Japanese, so the R and the L are used interchangeably. So
Zoro.
the manga made his name Zolo instead of Zoro, and then it also adds on that they didn't want to get sued for the sword Zoro, like the
Is that
double
two
R.
R's?
It is a double R, but still, it's basically the
But
same
it's a guy
thing.
with swords and his name's Zoro. It's like,
Wow.
And
And
then-
they've been getting away with it in the show. For
Yeah, in
like
the,
a
in the
thousand-
show,
they're
they
like, yeah, they say the L, Zoro.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, that's how. Because I was confused about that
Interesting.
too. I was like, I don't like this.
what a
the
fun
L.
fact.
Yeah,
But it's funny because also in his name, it's Roranoa. Roranoa.
Yeah.
So you think they would have done like
Lola
Lola-
Noah. Yeah, I also
Lola
thought
Noah.
about that, but I think the reason why they put Zolo is just because of the
Well, there's
the
no
sword
L
Zoro.
sound, so it's only R's.
yeah,
But the L makes the R sound.
correct.
Yes.
He just
So-
said that they
so
use
it'd
the
be
L's and
Roranoa.
R's.
So
yeah.
it would be the same thing, but they're interchangeable.
Yeah.
But back to what I was saying, the right hand man of the red haired Shanks, he has like blue hair, or like it's like a bluish hair,
Mhm.
and then Zoro, who we meet, he has green hair.
Yeah. Never. What he does?
He has green.
Yeah,
it's
dude,
pretty sick.
It's sick.
It's pretty sick.
Huh.
Yeah,
I bought him
So-
like a Zoro statue, and it's got like green hair on it.
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it's dope.
So while you were reading it, were you just imagining like the colors in there? They're like, this is what they normally
Well,
look
you
like.
can
Yeah,
see it
pretty
in like
much.
the covers and whatnot, right?
Yeah, I guess I just.
like Nami's red haired.
Oh, I did know Nami was redhead.
Dude, fucking
Yeah,
Zoro, his in the dubs, the guy who plays like Vegeta, like voices him,
Oh, cool.
and it's fucking sick.
How fun.
Yeah,
Oh
you're
yeah,
a sub guy, right?
Yeah, I'm a sub. Well, I watched this series on sub.
Like, cause we used to watch it on like Toonami back in the day. You know, I don't know if you remember watching like
I
One Piece
did?
at all. I remember watching it, and it was always in the dub.
sure you were
so I
there.
didn't even know what anime was. I just thought it was like,
It was like Dragon Ball
Just like
Z.
a cartoon.
yeah, I'm like, oh, more Dragon Ball Z shows
Yeah.
or whatever. You know? And those are always dubbed. So that's just like, it's just nostalgic for me to hear cringy dialogue in English, you know?
Yeah. So Higuma, who's the leader of the mountain bandits, comes back to the bar while Luffy is there, but the pirates are on like a voyage, so it's only Luffy there. But he's still a kid, so I don't know why he's at the bar. He's just hanging out, I guess. And
They got food.
they're about to
Yeah.
kill Luffy when Shanks and his men return. There's a fight between his men and stuff, but Higuma escapes with Luffy, and then he kicks him into the ocean since he can't swim. Shanks arrives again to save Luffy, but Shanks loses his arm to a shark that was there trying
Hold
to...
on. We're not gonna skip this epic scene when Shank shows up and homie just cracks him. Are we gonna skip that?
That was a
That
pretty
was
cool...
pretty sick.
Explain what happened, Carter.
So, you said Hagumi? I don't really remember this dude's name.
Higuma?
Haguma, whatever.
Mhm.
He's bullying Luffy and like kicking him while he's on the ground. And then Shanks, he was waiting for everyone to give him a farewell at the pier,
Mhm.
but no one ever showed up. So he came back to see what was happening, and he shows up to all this stuff going on. And Hagumi is like, "What are you still doing here?" Thinking he's a pushover, and has one of his men point a gun at him. And Shank just goes,
It's not safe to point guns.
"You say as you're putting your life on the line by pointing that at me. Hard.
That is,
and then he says, I'm saying this is not safe. It's not safe to point guns at people. And then boom, just gets popped.
Yeah, by one of his dudes.
By his dude.
Yeah.
The homie's just eating while he's doing it casually.
That dude is
he's
so
no
big.
chicken leg.
No hesitation.
Is he in the show, that big guy?
Yeah, he is. He's actually supposed to be really fucking dope. I haven't seen anything like specifically about him, but I know later on when we get to the newer episodes from like months from now, he's going to be sick, and I'm really excited for it.
Oh, cool.
He reminds me of like the big friend in like a Goofy movie, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I see that.
But
it's just the stomach poking out, I think.
But yeah, that part was super sick. It's one of the coolest parts of, well, not the coolest, but it's up there with all the cool parts of One Piece.
Yeah. It's a cool attention grabber.
So that's one that I wanted to bring up because I was like, damn. Because like when I'm watching this, I'm like, dude just shot him. No hesitation. No warning. Bam.
Because they're pirates, bro.
Dropped him.
Yeah.
Because like,
gotta set the stage.
Because before this, the mountain dude was just like disrespecting Shanks, but like he wasn't gonna do anything because it wasn't like that big of a deal. And then when he come to save the day, they're like here to like show that they're fucking pirates, dude.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, because he said he doesn't like needless killing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to hurting his friends, dude just pops him. No hesitation.
Doesn't hesitate.
Which is dope.
Yeah. So then Huguma takes Luffy, puts him in the ocean. There's a shark there. Shanks saves Luffy from the shark, but
it's more like an eel, but like a giant.
It's like a dragon eel looking thing. Yeah.
A serpent. Of some sort?
Yeah.
So not only did Luffy wasn't able to swim in the first place, but ever since he ate the Goma no Mi, which is the devil fruit that he ate, which makes him super stretchy and a rubber man, he permanently can never swim.
Yeah.
Does he just
even
sink
no matter
when he
how
goes to the water?
Sinks.
Because rubber can't swim, Daniel.
He sinks and he'll die. So
he can't like stretch himself out and make him float.
Once you hit the water drains your power, so you can't.
Oh.
So like, say if he was waist deep, he couldn't stretch and grab something because the water's draining his power.
What
so he doesn't.
What if
have
you get
it.
wet from the ocean? Is that fine?
Well, see, that's the weird thing about it because there's a thing later. He fights this guy who has a devil fruit, and his body is made of sand, so you can't punch him. It just you just goes through him and hits sand. But the way he beats him is that he puts water on himself and punches him.
That's fun.
Which is interesting. Like it's like sweat or like water.
Yeah.
And he punches him and fucks this dude up. And then, but like that doesn't really follow with everything. Like I feel like it would drain his power.
Yeah.
But he's punching homie and piecing him up.
So then
That's
you can
how
have
he
like a
beats him.
splash fight with everybody that has a fruit.
Yeah, but no one really does that because most captains.
Because that'd be ridiculous, Nathan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most captains.
Like, oh, stop, please, no.
Yeah, most captains in this show are typically devil fruit users. That's because you just get unparalleled power pretty much.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I'm glad that like that's like they all have like that weakness, because like it'd be like maybe a little boring if that wasn't there, because everyone's just like super OP.
Yeah.
And it's just like fighting all the time.
Also, like normal people could like figure out a way to use that to their advantage.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
if you're smart enough, like you can still fight someone that's eating like a devil fruit.
Yeah, like red-haired Shanks, he's probably one of the only top-ranking captains that doesn't have a devil fruit.
Yeah, that's cool. So then later, Luffy decides he will start his own crew and become a pirate king. So Shanks gives Luffy his straw hat.
I really didn't see him like losing his arm. Sorry to go back up to Shanks.
Yeah,
when he like saves him, like the whole thing happens really fast, and I guess when he grabs him, his arm is in it, you know. And then just goes to a panel with him without his arm, and he's like bleeding.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
oh my, what
did I miss here?
It's pretty hardcore. You
he
don't
like
really
barely knows Luffy, it seems, as well.
Yeah, I guess he just kind of hang out every now and then.
They've been there for like 5 years. I think that's what they said. It was like 4 or 5 years that they've been at that town.
Oh yeah, that's like home base for a little while.
Yeah, but you don't really even see it in the anime of him losing his arm. It just cuts to the same thing.
Yeah, it's really fast.
But you can just see how powerful he was back then, just because he scared away that eel dragon thing, which is pretty huge in the anime, by just staring at him and just telling him to get out of there.
Yeah.
And he just runs away, which is pretty cool.
Lettering plays a pretty big part of the identity of the book, but sometimes it's like really loud and like distracting almost, which I know is probably purposeful, but sometimes it can make it like hard to read.
Like when?
It doesn't happen as much in this first chapter, but like later on, there's like a lot of like onomatopoeia and like lettering and stuff, and it's like, what am I even supposed to be looking at right now?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. It is quite crazy.
But Luffy eventually goes back and like punches that big eel thing, and I think that the visually the gum pistol punch or whatever looks
Mhm.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is actually really super cool.
Yeah, especially like the perspective that Oda like draws in, like it definitely looks like he's stretching like pretty far out. So it's fun to read.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's not like just like across the room kind of stretch. It's
yeah,
like
no, it's like he's
he,
going
he
like
will hit anybody.
yeah, he's punching like a football field away right now.
No
Yeah.
one's safe.
It's pretty fun. So that was chapter 1.
Yeah, and then another thing, how he gets his name as Straw Hat Luffy. Originally, Shanks had the straw hat,
And then he gives it to
but
him.
he gave it to Luffy since he was too young to go on his ship, and then he was like, once you become a good pirate, return the straw hat to me, and that's how he became known as Straw Hat Luffy, because
And
it's
then-
the most predominant part of himself.
I didn't realize it'd be like origins for this stuff.
yeah,
like,
for,
like
the,
the
for the
hat
straw hat.
or the scar.
So you're saying
Dude,
he's had the
there's-
same hat the whole time?
The same time.
Does he ever lose it? And he's like, I gotta go get it.
Actually, he does, and he has a breakdown. Like he literally, well, not a breakdown. He is like freaking out. Like someone steals it.
Uh-huh.
Well, actually, fun fact: Nami, who we'll meet later, actually stole his hat,
What a hoe.
and then he like flipped out on her and took it back. And
yeah, what a
then-
bitch.
And then you can also tell like how much he cares about this hat, because when going into Nami's backstory, she's like getting her hometown's like getting taken over by like this terrorist fishman dude, and so Luffy like give him his hat and it's like, hold on to this for me, and then like whoops his ass and then frees her from him, which is
Mm.
pretty cool.
So chapter 2, Luffy sets sail on like this dinghy thing, and he immediately gets pulled into a whirlpool. So that's fun. And then
It's funny.
Luffy manages to like get into a barrel that floats to Iron Mace Alvida's pirate ship and is found by the cabin boy Kobe, thinking that it was rum. But Luffy was like, "Ah, man, what a nice nap!" when they like take him out of the barrel. So I think it's a there's like this reveal for Alvida, and like you only see like part of her face for like the first couple times that you see her, and
Mhm.
you're like, oh, okay, nice, a woman pirate. And then like there's this reveal, and she's like this ginormous woman,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, that's kind of funny, actually.
She actually comes back later in the anime, and she slims down to like how she looks.
Oh,
in that.
really?
Yeah, like
Hmm.
she takes it really hard, like losing to Luffy, and then she comes back and she's like,
Does some CrossFit?
she's hot. She's hot.
She's bad.
Yeah, she's bad.
She's a baddie.
Oh, wow.
She's a baddie.
Hit some CrossFit, does some keto.
Because it was funny. I'm like, hey, isn't that the same girl? I was like, damn, she's bad.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I guess like berries is like currency in this world.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
berries.
blueberries?
No, it's I
It's
don't
just
know.
called berries?
Yeah.
Are they like
they're
doubloons?
Yeah, they're like doubloons pretty
Okay.
much, but they call them berries.
I like that.
What's
It's fun.
doubloons? Like the coins or
Doubloon,
something?
yeah, like
You
they're
don't know what
like
doubloons are? You don't know anything about pirates, Daniel.
I guess not, dude. That's why I'm reading this.
they're basically, yeah, they're basically
Trying to learn. Okay, okay.
They're just
I thought
pirate
everybody knew
coin-
that.
They're just kind of pirate
Give me your
coins.
doubloon. You know what a
That sounds like a flower.
Do you know what a treasure chest is?
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
full of them. They're just coins.
Doubloons.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's coins.
But the doubloons are called berries here.
Yeah.
So it's not actually berries that
It's-
people are
No,
Trading.
they're not
I'm like-
actually like eatable berries.
They're not like blueberries.
Boo. Okay.
Kobe and Luffy go into the forest, and Kobe says that he doesn't want to be a pirate anymore, and he wants to join the Marines. And then Iron Mace Alvida confronts Luffy and Kobe. Luffy fights Alvida and hits her with that gum pistol punch.
So Luffy hits women.
Yeah, he does. He's a woman hitter.
Oh,
Mhm.
dude, all the time actually.
Yeah,
That's who he prefers to hit.
equal rights, equal fights in this world.
There's actually a part later on where he has like a friend, and I forget her name on the top of my head, but she's like freaking out, and like because she's like a princess of like this place, and a pirate's trying to take over, and she's like freaking out, and then Luffy basically just punches her,
Nice.
and it's pretty out of pocket.
As
but
you
it's funny.
should.
But it's funny.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then the crew's like, well, shit, you know, we should get this guy a dinghy. And so they do, and they sail on their way. I hate Kobe. I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
He
But-
doesn't. He's not better in the show or anything. Yeah, he's a little annoying.
I know that there's
Yeah.
like a lot of manga and like anime characters who are like anxious and they like freak out constantly and like being bitches before they like get inspired and become like better characters. But God, I hate that trope when they're just like bitches and they're yelling about everything.
Yeah.
Like it happens in Dragon Ball Z. It's like Gohan or somebody.
Or
It's like
Krillin.
Yeah,
well,
both of
Krillin's not as bad, I don't think. But like literally the first couple seasons of Dragon Ball Z, I tried rewatching and like couldn't because Gohan is like a little kid. He's like a little child.
Mm-hmm.
And God, he sucks to listen to.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
how
he
kids
does a
are,
lot.
man.
I know
Yeah.
they are, but like they really focus in on it. Like I would say that most of Kobe's dialogue is him screaming in this.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe it's like just 90s manga in general,
It is. And like
especially the shonen.
I
jump.
understand the trope because it makes Luffy seem like pretty confident in what he's doing, and then he'll eventually inspire Kobe, I'm sure.
He does. Yeah, he has a major glow up, and
Yeah.
it's pretty dope.
Does he get taller?
Does he get hot?
He gets a lot taller. He does become pretty hot.
Still pink hair?
Still pink hair.
Okay, how else would you know
It's
him?
not long. It's actually really short. He cuts it short, and
Does he have abs?
Cool. Yeah, I'm assuming so, but you don't ever see him. He looks like he would
No
have
shirtless
abs.
scene,
Oh,
man.
dang it.
He looks like he would have abs. So
Yeah. So then chapter 3, Kobe tells Luffy about Roanoa Zoro. We'll call him Zoro.
Zoro. Mhm.
He's a pirate hunter, and Luffy decides that he might recruit him. And so they talk about it over lunch at some place that they're at. And even just saying the name Zoro causes the customers in the restaurant to just like explode pretty much. Like they freak out.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be this demon pirate hunter dude who like has no remorse for anybody and just cuts down anybody and like hunts down pirates. And so they like, which is interesting to me because I feel like the Marines would think of him as an ally, but they still have him under custody.
Yeah.
Because he probably still murders people.
Yeah, because actually it shows later that he ends up cutting down the Marines general's, his son.
Mm-hmm.
He cuts up his dog because his dog was going to attack this little girl
Ooh.
that we meet later. I forget her name too, but
It's like Rika or something.
He saved her by cutting down the dog, and then the spoiled little brat of a general's son
Does the dog
told his dad.
So he cuts up the dog?
Yeah,
in
because the
anime?
dog in the anime, I don't know if you see that. I
don't think
can't
he
remember.
cuts
That
that
was
up in
so
the
long
manga, does he?
ago.
I think he just stops
Yeah,
the
he
dogs.
does. It shows us.
Whoa.
I remember seeing it.
That means it's a bad book. He kills a
Bad
dog.
book?
Ooh.
Oh,
Anytime there's a dog that dies, it's a bad
They
book.
kill dog
yeah.
and hit women?
It's the law. Well, the hitting women part is fine, I think. But
Yeah, I'm chill with that.
yeah. There's like, I think this book does get pretty funny with its over exaggeration. Like they say two names, and like right after that, the whole bar just like freaks out. It's like there's a whole earthquake. Like he says Captain Morgan, and then like the next panel is like everybody fucking falling over and like tables getting flipped. Like, oh god, like
Captain Morgan.
it's like he threw the bowling ball backwards, and
yeah.
like,
Everyone just
everybody
jumped and we.
fucking freaks out. Then they go to a Navy base and they see Zoro tied up to like a post. There's a young girl that tries to feed him like rice balls, but Captain Morgan's son, Helmeppo, catches her and then throws her over the wall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Decides not to
Crazy.
kill her, but also throwing a child over like a big fence is insane.
Mhm.
Yeah, like, but I mean, to be fair, it's better than our alternative of her just being shot right then and there.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is
But
basically what's supposed to happen.
just seeing the panel of her being thrown over the
Being
fence is pretty funny
yeeted.
because she kind of just like ragdolls.
But like you could see the good intentions of Zoro because he eats the rice ball that Helmeppo dropped on the ground and stepped on.
Yeah.
He eats it even though it's full of dirt, so you
And
can tell
he's
he's
like-
a good guy.
And he's like, tell her it was great.
He's like, that's delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious.
So Luffy catches the girl and finds out that Zoro was just trying to protect the girl from Helmeppo's dogs, who I guess he fucking cuts up, which is crazy. But later, Luffy finds Helmeppo, who brags about how he's going to kill Zoro, and so Luffy punches him in the face. There's a fun tutorial after this chapter about how to draw the skull and crossbones.
Yeah, here's your mid-matter.
Yeah, mid-matter.
Mid-matter.
Pretty cool. It's very simple, surprisingly.
Yeah,
I've
nothing
never
too
tried drawing this
complicated.
or anything, but it's good to know that I can now.
I like how there's a little bit of a humor and it shows like a really realistic one too versus
Yeah.
theirs.
Between step 6 and 7, like they just do like this super highly detailed one that's clearly more than just like a couple circles and lines. And they're like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Do you remember when like, wasn't Chip Zdarsky doing like how to draw like things for covers? Like way back in the day, like how to
little
draw like a
tutorial things?
Daredevil and stuff like that. I think I remember something like that.
I don't remember Chip doing it specifically, and I don't even remember any kind of tutorial. It sounds cool, though.
I think I remember that being a thing. And I was like, this is fun.
Mm.
And I think he did one for like Howard the Duck. I think those are two of the ones. But
Okay.
anyway, chapter 4.
Real quick. It's way too easy to get into this jail. It's just a tall wall, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Like he's not in a cell.
3 children got in pretty much.
Yeah, with a ladder.
Yeah.
There's not even like security.
There's not guards on the outside that are like, hey, don't use that ladder, you know?
Yeah.
They should consider that.
The most heiniest man considered right now is just easily just no one's guarding him. There's no one in the court field or nothing like that.
Yeah, he's alone. Like you could just go up and talk to him if you get over that.
Yeah.
And just dip out without no one noticing.
Yeah, Captain Morgan needs to up his security. Chapter 4, Helmeppo incites his revenge by telling his dad, Captain Morgan. He's like, I'm gonna tell my dad. You know who my dad is? He does that thing. And then Luffy tells Zoro about the planned execution in 3 days because Zoro was originally told he would just get let go in a month. But no, he's going to get executed in like 3 days or something. So he offers to get Zoro's swords back if he joins Luffy's crew. And then Helmeppo tells Captain Morgan about what happened, and Captain Morgan responds by saying, "Don't be a bitch, fight your own fights," kind of deal.
Yeah, which I thought was funny because he goes, "My beloved, I'm my father's beloved son," and then he just gets rocked as soon as he.
Dude, he calls him daddy like throughout this.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I didn't really like it that much.
I love the Captain Morgan design.
Dude, the fucking axe.
Dope.
The fucking axe handle though,
It's
going
dope.
beyond his elbow.
Yeah, I know, that's just
I'm
kind
like,
of
and he grabs it at one point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ew.
So it's got leverage, you know?
I honestly don't even remember that. Like
it's
the
hardly
handle going-
noticeable in the show.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I'm like, this
seeing
thing's
it.
disgusting.
It
And his like stupid like jaw thing that
I like
makes
that.
no sense. No, it looks cool, but like it's practically very dumb.
Does
It's meant to hide his double chin.
He's got double chin.
Yeah, Helmeppo has that like double chin, and then
I'm talking about Captain Morgan.
I know what I'm saying. Well, that's his dad, and then you see, his butt chin. That's what sorry, that's what I meant. Not his double chin, his butt chin. And then in the mid matter later, after this one, it shows how they were going to draw him without the mask, and he has that butt chin. But then they remade him and then just had a cool looking mask that covers it.
So canonically, does he have a lower jaw or no?
No, he still, he has that like
They change it into like a mechanical thing.
mechanical
that he has?
like bottom.
Does he have
jaw.
a mechanical tongue then?
No, he has a real face. It's just a mask that covers his chin.
Okay. Well,
So
it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, so you can see his mouth, and it's really dope.
Yeah. So while looking for Zoro's swords, Luffy accidentally knocks over Captain Morgan's statue. And so now that he's been like personally slighted, Captain Morgan starts to go after. He sends his men after Luffy. So Luffy grabs Helmeppo to get the location of the swords. And then also Kobe tries to help Zoro, and then he gets fucking shot. Like shooting a kid is bold, you know? Which I thought was insane because like I'm like, okay, yeah, you could throw a kid over a fence, and then they like shoot Kobe like in the shoulder, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
Oh, they did shoot him.
Yeah.
Was he okay? Like what happened?
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, they shot him because he was trying to untie Zoro.
Where did he get shot at?
It was like the last page of this or something.
Yeah, he was trying to untie
like where
Zoro.
in his body did he get
in
shot?
his shoulder.
His right
okay.
shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of see it.
Yeah. Okay.
So, chapter 5, Luffy finds the swords, but he finds 3 swords and he doesn't really know which 2 are Zoro's. And then meanwhile, Zoro and Kobe are being held at gunpoint by Captain Morgan's men. This is the first time we get like a good look at some of the blunderbuss, but I like that they, I just like how sick they look. Like, look at how he draws them and stuff. Like those are pirate guns, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're pretty dope when you're watching them.
It looks pretty fun. Then we get like a Zoro flashback, and it's of him training to become like the greatest swordsman so that he can beat the dojo master's daughter in a fight. They have this like rivalry kind of thing, like a friendly rivalry, I would say, kind of going on.
Yeah, Kunya.
Yeah, that was like Kuina or something like that.
She ends up dying by falling downstairs, and then Zoro's like, shit, let me get your sword, and then I'll still work to try and be the greatest swordsman in your honor. Yeah. It's like a promise that he makes.
So when Luffy finds the swords, he's like, I don't know which one is Zoro's. And then so he takes all 3 of them and he brings it down.
Yeah.
And Zoro's like, yeah, they're all mine.
Yeah.
So he originally had just those 2 when he was fighting Kuina, but the white one is hers that he got from her. But like in the anime, the dojo master, like he's a little bit more hesitant on giving him the sword. But in the manga, he's just like, okay. Here's my daughter's sword.
Yeah, so Luffy like jumps in front of like Zoro and Kobe, and he like blocks the bullets, And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, you are rubber, so it makes sense. It's a little OP. So does
It
he
is
like get
super
hurt
OP.
by swords?
Yeah, he
By
can be
getting cut up? Okay.
He gets cut up.
Okay.
He can be chopped up.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, because the bullets just
'Cause the
like
bullets
go
just-
through him and then
He seems like he's having a great time.
Push
even.
back out,
Yeah,
yeah.
it doesn't even like hurt that much.
He ends up getting a scar in between on his chest. That's an X
Mhm.
that you'll see in later manga chapters. That's from,
They should shoot him with water bullets.
if I remember correctly, it's from a sword, but I could be
water bullets.
absolutely getting it wrong.
Wait, does ice stop their powers? So if you have like an ice sword,
I don't think so.
hmm.
I don't know. Actually, I think there
He's
is
got to be
someone that
seawater, Nathan.
I'm pretty sure there is someone that has an ice gum fruit. I can't remember them on the top of my head,
Seems contradictory.
but it is pretty interesting.
I think
yeah.
you're just looking too deep into it.
Well, there is
They
like,
should have squirt guns.
but
Who invented squirt guns?
When was that? When were they
Did
invented?
they catch up with them?
but there's a funny meme that goes around about Kuina and how she falls down the stairs. So Luffy's real name is Monkey D. Luffy. That's
Yeah.
Monkey is his last name, and then there's like people that are OP and they have great powers and they have the middle name just D, just like how Gold D Roger has the
Mhm.
D in it.
Mhm.
They're not related, but they just have that D in the middle name. That's still mysterious of what that means, and they're still unraveling that.
Stands for devil fruit.
D's
it-
nuts.
But it's funny because some of the memes on TikTok are like, Kuina fell down D stairs or lost to down D stairs.
Is there anything
So
to
funny.
elaborate on that? Because that's a weird origin, right? Like you're friends with someone, they fall down the stairs, so you dedicate your whole life to
Well,
this one thing. You know?
it was like a promise that he made before she fell down the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that.
They were both like, I want to be we're going to be the strong. Well, she was like, you're eventually going to be the strongest because you're a man.
Yeah.
And then Zoro basically told her, he's like, I'm training my hardest to beat you.
Mhm.
I'm not going to let you pin it off on me being a man.
And then she
So they
dies.
said, then they both pledged on being the greatest swords master, and then she dies.
You'd think it would be
But that
like
was-
she got sick, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting, but that's his love, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was in love with her.
I mean, like Luffy has like no reason
Practically.
to be like king of the pirates.
Yeah,
so
he
far.
likes it.
Maybe he likes sword fighting.
Yeah,
You know?
that's fair. That's
the
fair.
reason he wants to be the king of pirates is because he wants to be the most free man in the world.
Yeah.
Was he not free before?
Was he a slave?
No, he thinks that other people are freer than him.
Hmm.
I guess
Mm.
he just thinks that if he's the king of the pirates, he can be super free. I guess that makes
I'm just
sense.
cool with him being like, I want to be the best. You know?
Yeah,
And
sure.
I'm sure he wants to be the best too.
Did
but
you see this? The original design for
Yeah, that's what I
Captain
was-
Morgan?
That's what I was
Uh,
talking
Like the
about.
stock one.
You see
Yeah,
how
I
he's
like
a
that.
butt chin?
Yeah, not as cool. I
You didn't see
understand.
that?
Like I can see the resemblance, but it's not as cool.
I saw it, but I didn't like look at it really. You know.
I read it because I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I like the fun facts. Chapter 6, the Marines charge at them with swords because I guess bullets don't work, and Zoro gets cut free to fight, and then Luffy hits him with a big stretchy kick. And this is when we see Zoro with his 3-sword style for the
dope.
first time,
It's dope.
which is crazy, and I can't tell if it looks cool. I think it does.
No, It's so sick.
It looks sick.
But
I
like
don't know
he
what you're
doesn't even
talking
like
about.
retrofit the sword to like fit in his mouth better. He's just like biting really hard, you know.
Well, that's like her sword. He's not gonna change it.
Yeah, I guess so. Like I understand it. I know it does look cool when he does the pose. Like if he had any other pose, I don't know if I would like it as much.
Yeah,
you
dude,
know.
stopping 9 different swords with his 3, and one of them's in his mouth,
Yeah.
which is really sick, in my opinion.
What's the name of the style? Did you catch that?
Sakio or something. He says at the like end of the last
Sajoru or something.
Centaurio
Santoryu. Yeah, he
3-sword style.
he says that a lot, but when he's doing an attack, like they name their attacks. Like you know how Luffy says "gomo gomo" before he does like a rocket or something like that, or a pistol. So he like says it before doing it.
Mhm.
I don't know the background of that.
You
It's
gotta
just-
announce-
It's just super cool.
When he is
but he does
talking
that.
with the sword in his mouth in the anime,
It just kind of like
Is it
moves
muffled?
as he's biting. No, it's not muffled. It's not muffled at all.
sounds the
I
exact
don't
same.
think it sounds. Yeah, I think it sounds the same.
I think it'd be hilarious if it was like, I'm gonna do the 3-sword style.
you would think, but it
it's
doesn't
like
really.
Luffy,
it's like
run.
a little muffled,
Run,
but
Luffy.
you can
It's-
still tell really
Yeah,
well.
it's
Okay.
a little muffled, but it's pretty clear.
Okay,
Like,
that's funny.
you can barely You can barely tell that he has a sword in his mouth.
Yeah. So then Luffy goes to fight the Captain Axehand Morgan, and during their battle, Helmeppo holds Kobe at gunpoint to stop Luffy, and Kobe's like not scared despite facing death, and Luffy just stretchy punches Helmeppo. And
sorry, going back to the sword thing, I found this meme and sent it to Carter like a while ago. It's like a
three sword style.
This is the 4 sword style. Dude.
Oh well, he's got a
He's got
holds him to
it's
the
fucking
cheeks.
so stupid.
He could block 12 swords that way.
But before Helmeppo holds down Kobe, Zoro agreed to be
Oh yeah, part of his
agreed
crew.
to be a part of his crew, which is pretty dope. And then as Helmeppo has Kobe at gunpoint, Luffy is 100% going for Helmeppo. He's gonna punch him from a mile away.
Yeah.
And then all these Marines are going to attack Luffy, and then you could there's a panel, and then Luffy's just like Zoro, and then Zoro just goes and slices them all up as they're going to attack Luffy as he's about to attack Helmeppo, which is pretty dope because that's like his first like command as his captain, which is pretty iconic.
Yeah. And there's a panel where Captain Morgan swipes his axe at Luffy and it misses, but like the air from the swing slices like a fence in half. And I'm like, that is the most like manga thing. Because it's like, wow, it's so sharp that even the air that touches it becomes sharp.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't even
So I
know
think
if
that's
saw
fun.
that.
Yeah, it's
I
like
see
he
it, I
like
see
dodges the swing and it cuts the fence.
I see it now. That's crazy.
He also grabs the handle coming out of his elbow for like more leverage, more torque on it. And I'm like, ooh, it's gotta feel weird.
Yucky.
Yeah. But like I really like how dynamic and fluid like this fight is, because you see Luffy like dodge a bunch of like attacks and stuff. And I feel like that makes it look super cool.
Yeah, a lot of animes don't show that. They just like they don't show all the unique dodges and stuff like that. So I like that part of the fights that they have in One Piece.
Yeah, like this one where Luffy like does like a twist thing to like dodge one of the attacks. I'm like, this looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it took me a second to get that because I thought Luffy's leg was like Morgan's leg for a second.
Yeah.
I'm like, where'd he go?
Yeah,
but he was just spinning.
Where'd he go? So yeah, pretty cool. That's pretty much that chapter.
Yeah, and then he kicks him off the spin, which is pretty cool. All fluid movement.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, it's pretty clean.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a moment here where you think Kobe would be like freaking out and he's like, you know what? Let him kill me. And I'm like, oh, okay. We're getting past scared Kobe. So then chapter 7, Luffy, Kobe, and Zoro are talking at the restaurant. Luffy and Zoro are going to the Grand Line while Kobe is going to go a separate way to join the Marines. And then the current Marines, like they thank them for killing Captain Morgan, but they still ask them to leave. So Luffy and Kobe fight to convince the Marines that Kobe's not a pirate. So some development from Kobe here, which is pretty cool. And then Luffy and Zoro set sail, and the Marines all salute them as they set sail to the Grand Line. And that's pretty much everything that happens that chapter. But it's kind of cool that they're like, you're pirates. We don't really like you, but you did us a solid. So, just get out.
We won't like report you.
Yeah, we won't report you. They even salute them, which is kind of cool.
And that like is basically should be like the end of like the volume, but they have like another one that kind of sets up the next one, or just gives you a bit of hint towards what's about to happen.
Yeah, I think it still makes sense for this volume too, because like in the beginning of chapter 8, they quickly realized that they like need a navigator. They're like, I don't know where I'm going.
and it's funny because Zoro is the worst at directions.
Yeah,
like later in the anime, they'll be like down a hallway, and like they'll have just come down this hallway, and then they stop and they like talk about what they're gonna do and how they're gonna split up. And Zoro's supposed to keep going straight, but instead he ends up going backwards. And he's like absolutely horrible. Like there's memes where he like finds himself in different animes.
That's
that people do. So
that's hilarious.
It's funny that them two, like Luffy's also really bad at directions, but it's just funny that them two are in the same boat and somehow managed to get somewhere.
They're like, shit, how do we get there? What is the Grand Line? What does that end up being?
So there's different parts of the sea. Like right now they're in the East Blue, which is where Luffy grows up. Mm-hmm. And then there's like a bunch of different parts where they go. They'll meet a different crew member, Sanji, in the same ocean. And then they go to the Grand Line, which is basically a level up of pirates. So all these pirates that you see, they're like bottom of the barrel.
They're like level 5.
And then when you go to, they're like super high level. And then you go to the Grand Line. Same with like all the monsters in the sea. there's that eel dragon thing that was in the beginning. There's much more.
First boss.
Yeah, that was like a puny monster, and then when you go to the Grand Line, there's like super crazy different types of monsters in the sea. And
let me guess, a kraken.
Godzilla.
Think there is a kraken. There's not Godzilla. There might be a kraken. I can't quite remember.
A Loch Ness monster.
No Loch Ness monsters. As soon as they reach the Grand Line, they run into this giant hippo, which is pretty cool. Not a hippo. Sorry, a whale. Which is pretty cool.
Like hippo.
Why is there a hippo in the ocean?
That makes no sense. I love it.
Sorry.
What is this crazy world?
There's plenty of whales.
Bro, but that whale's made me cry. Like just all the background that it has on that whale. I'm like,
there's a backstory on the whale.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty crazy.
Is it like the Avatar whale?
Whale oranges.
So what happens is this whale. So there's a crew member who's a skeleton that's on Luffy that joined Luffy, and he's the musician because he tells later on when they're in the bingy that he wants a musician, a navigator, all these different people,
a cook,
and a cook. And so their musician, he ate a fruit that allows him to be revived after he dies. So he was originally a captain for a crew, and then all of his crew got wiped out, and he dies, but he gets revived.
Did he know that that's what his fruit did?
No, he didn't. He ate his fruit, and he had no idea what it was, and he just thought that he didn't have anything. He just basically lost the ability to swim. But then he gets revived, and he's a skeleton, and he meets Luffy's crew after he's been alone.
What's his name?
His name is Brook.
Brook.
I don't remember his full name.
Captain Brook.
Yeah, but he's really dope. He's a skeleton. He's like he has
plays drums with bones.
Huh?
Does he play the drums with bones?
Does he play
the piano with bones? Well, he plays everything pretty much. He does violin. He does flute. Does all but mainly
how does he play the flute?
I don't understand. but mainly it's the piano. But he's really dope. He's actually one of my favorite Straw Hats because he's like super cold. Like literally, like he's probably the closest to ice powers. He's like stupid. He's like he'll like walk past somebody like humming like his enemy, and then it'll just show him like past his enemy. He's like, I've already cut you up, and then he sheathes his sword, and then dude's just gone, cut up.
One of those,
and then he's like iced up.
He's a speedster,
dude, but it's dope.
Nice.
Do they call his crew Straw Hats?
Luffy's
crew?
Yeah, they call him the Straw Hats.
Oh, okay. I like that name.
I totally forgot where I was going.
Anyways, do they all get Straw Hats?
Oh, but the whale, dude.
But the whale, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the whale was actually a part of that dude's crew, but they ended up leaving the whale.
He had a whale on his crew?
Yeah, but because he liked the music, because his band, like his captain, the captain of his ship, they were a bunch of musicians.
So that kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah, his crew were a bunch of musicians, and they play music as they're on the sea.
I want to be part of that crew. That's sick.
So the whale
band.
So pretty much. So the whale liked it and he followed him, but then they like told him after they reached the Grand Line that he can't follow them no more, and so he had to stay there. And he was waiting for him to return. He's been waiting there forever.
Oh, like a dog.
Yeah.
Aww.
And so we find out later that he's the actual person he's waiting for. So I'm waiting for that reunion. It's gonna be pretty dope.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Very touching.
So yeah, they need a navigator. And Luffy gets snatched up by a bird when he tries to catch it for food. And then Zoro's like chasing after him. And then he picks up 3 pirates in the water that got tricked out of their ship and into a dinghy by Nami. And they're pretty dumb for all 3 getting in like the little dinghy thing to like steal her stuff. But, it shows that Nami's like pretty tricky. And so the 3 pirates, they're on Zoro's little dinghy and they're scared of returning to Buggy the Clown empty-handed, who's like a pirate that ate the fruit of the devil, I guess.
He's got a cool ship.
Yeah. And then, so wait, you've seen Buggy the Clown, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Is he a pretty early like villain, or is he like pretty intense?
He is an early villain. He loses and he's coming back.
Oh,
he's like the Frieza.
A lot of comeback.
Yeah, he's basically like a Frieza, but basically his fruit is he can't be cut, so like he can like move his body around. So like his hand would pop off from his arm, and his hand could fly around basically, and he can control his body even though it's not
Does
together.
It have to be cut off first?
He's like
take it off.
I think he can take it off. But for the most part, you see it being cut off, and he's like, gotcha. My hand, but it just goes back.
Can he get shot?
Pretty interesting.
How does he die? He just get shot?
He's not dead yet. I'm assuming
how would he get?
I'm assuming
killed?
he would either everyone can drown. That has
Okay, sure.
the devil fruit, and then I'm assuming he can be shot because it's basically a.
What happens
being
if okay, here's a theoretical. His hand comes off. You
Mhm.
grab his hand. You throw it in the water. What happens?
That is
Dead hand.
That's interesting.
Dead hand?
Well,
no hand anymore?
part
Hand
of-
sings.
There's actually a funny
'Cause he
part.
floats. Can he make like his whole body float?
Yeah, he can make his body float.
So he can float above the water?
I guess, yeah, theoretically.
Theoretically.
Mm.
There's
Okay,
a part
grab the hand,
Unless he gets splashed on.
put it in a chest, throw it in.
that actually happens. Like his body parts come apart, and then they like put stuff on it so it can't go back together.
Dude, I'm so fucking smart.
Like a paperweight?
I can't remember. Yeah, they I can't remember exactly. This was probably like 2 years ago that I've watched.
Yeah,
this
this is
part.
pretty far back. It's like
Yeah.
1,000 episodes.
And I think literally
You
a
remember
thousand.
all of them?
we're like quizzing his ass.
They take off his body parts, and I think they put like cannonballs on it so he can't get those parts back
That makes sense.
or something like that. Because he can't.
They shoot the cannon.
Hold on. So the Grand Line, is that like an island or something?
No, it's like a whole nother part of the sea.
It's like a border.
It's
like an
basically
area
like
of the water.
It's basically like the Atlantic and the Pacific if they're connected through some
So the
sort of like
hemisphere.
crazy.
border of two different parts.
Yeah, it's like going. So say if you were in the Pacific and you went on this crazy water slide thing, and it's like rapids, and you're going straight down a hill,
Like Finding
and then
Nemo.
you reach the Grand Line. Like
Ah.
Finding Nemo. Yeah, I like that, but like a huge giant water slide off of a.
Yeah, the Australian thing,
Yeah.
the current or whatever.
Yeah. And all the turtles going
Yeah,
there.
it would be that, but
Okay.
above water.
Got it.
So
All right. Makes sense.
Neato.
it's kind of hard to explain, but basically everyone's a lot more powerful, and that's one thing you have to go through. Yeah, that's one thing you have to go through to get to the One Piece.
Yeah. Okay. So then we see Nami, who's running away from more of Buggy's men for stealing a map of the Grand Line, which is pretty convenient. And then Luffy just happens to drop in and saves her. And then they're like, hey, let's team up. And like, it ends very abruptly because Nami's like, I specialize in robbing pirates. Want to team up with me? And then he's like, robbing pirates. And then it just ends. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we're done.
Yeah.
It seems like they were like in the middle of conversation and she was going to elaborate a little bit more, but no, it just ends.
Yeah, that'll happen.
But it's insane that the way that they originally meet is from a random bird carrying Luffy and dropping him in front of Nami, who at the time happens to have a map of the exact place that they're trying to go to.
In the show, Buggy like shoots down the bird with like a cannonball, and then he just happens to fall like right there. You know what I mean?
That's what they did
So
here
it's not
too.
like he just got. That is what they.
Yeah,
did?
they
Okay.
ended up shooting the bird. for
Once I
some
watched the
reason.
show, it just erased my manga memory.
Yeah. So
It overrided it.
They actually show a panel of a real life pirate ship, and it's Buggy's. And I forget what they call it, but the thing that's like that you know how in
The
Pirates
tip?
of the Caribbean, yeah, they have like the mermaid hanging off the front of
yeah.
the ship.
The
But
bow?
everyone, probably
The tip.
That's like the front.
the
I guess.
front of it, yeah. They all have like their own unique one for each one.
And this one's a clown.
Yeah, this
or
one.
it's like an
it's
elephant
an
clown.
elephant clown thing you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's fun.
So and then
See, that's one of the things I
Very-
do like
very
about
festive.
this is that he does get pretty creative with some of the, like the pirate aspects and like the pirate world,
Yeah.
and I do enjoy that.
And like
It's very
everyone's
enjoyable,
flag is
yeah.
different, which is dope.
Yeah,
but they're all like the same skull and bones. They
Yeah.
just have different things.
Yeah,
Still
that's
like
the
the,
constant.
Cool.
the Jolly Roger or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the Jolly Roger.
Very fun.
Very cool.
So let's get into Back Matter Matters.
Back matters.
So yeah, there was things between each chapter. The funnest one I think was showing how to draw the skull and crossbones.
Yeah.
But there's one that's like a quote, and then there's one that's like, here's how I designed Captain Morgan, and there's another one where it's like, here's what the different flags mean or whatever. I don't know if you looked at whatever back matter that you had, but mine
I
was
just had the chapters. So.
Oh, okay.
Enlighten us.
There's like a small like making of One Piece.
Let me see.
Basically, it just says before creating the final version of One Piece printed in this graphic
Let
novel,
me see.
Oda drew 2 early one-shot stories starring Luffy under the title Romance Dawn, the same title used for Chapter 1. And these stories aren't part of the plot of One Piece. They're like alternate universe versions telling a similar story of Luffy's origin.
Is that in there?
Yeah, but it hasn't been translated yet, so you can just see. And then
It's
if you
never
scroll,
been translated.
I guess not.
So
It was like an original like type thing before he makes it into One Piece.
Oh, they got like a
there's a
Wikipedia page about him.
There's a whole lot that goes on of like original artworks of characters. Like, so Sanji the cook is a few characters from this one, but he is a cook that only reserves his hands for cooking, and the way he fights is he kicks. He uses his feet and he kicks, which is pretty dope.
Yeah, can break the hands.
And his name is Sanji, but originally his name was going to be Naruto, but since Naruto came out, they didn't want to use the same name. But what was funny is that he was actually supposed to use pistols before. And his whole artwork was different, and it was really cool.
If he was going to be Naruto,
if he was going to be his name was going to be Naruto, and he's going to use pistols, but then they just completely swapped it around. His name is now Sanji. And
that's funny.
Kicks. Which
Does he have his hands in his pocket when he fights?
Yeah, dude, it is sick.
That's fun.
Like he doesn't even take them out. Like
fun fighting style.
Do you recognize that guy?
No.
And he like swings. Yeah, you can look at all of the different characters. A lot of them are really cool. There's some pretty dumb looking characters, but
this is Google.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you the character that I like, the Brook.
I've seen your pops.
Yeah, they're sick.
Yeah. What all from One Piece do you have in your room? Because you got a lot. You have the 3 swords, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I have 2 of his swords. So
actually, they're like swords.
They're like well, not official, but like they're canon.
Replicas
they're
or whatever.
canon
Swords.
Canon swords.
Do you have the white one?
This is Brook. I don't. I do want that one.
Can you hold it in your
Brook,
mouth?
and he's like a skeleton, and he has an afro, which is pretty funny.
That's fun.
So
have you held the sword in your mouth before?
I have not. Well, actually, I think I did try, but it was really fucking hard, so I didn't really.
You don't have the jaw strength yet?
No.
For Saki
I'm like, dude, that's kind of crazy because you're like swinging around, you're like, fighting
break your
other
teeth.
people that you're using their dominant hand and you're blocking it. But I have, so as they're going on their trip, they get bounties on their head.
Did you try holding the sword between your cheeks?
I have not. Might have to try. But they all get a bounty and they get their like bounty pictures and stuff. So I have all of those of all of the current pirate Straw Hats. I have the Jolly Roger, like just the black flag. Zoro, throughout the anime, he gets, I think it's like 6 or 7 swords. Like he breaks 2, and I forget what the other, and then he just gets new ones as he goes.
But he's not like carrying like 7 swords.
No, he's not. He only has 3 on him at all time. 2 of them break because he fights somebody who's like basically considered the strongest swordsman at the time. He fights him because he's like, if I beat you, I'll be the strongest swordsman. And then he gets pieced up and he gets sliced across his chest, so he has a nice scar, or he'll have a nice scar after this, which is pretty early on. So you would see it if you kept reading. But,
so do you have his OG swords?
I don't. I have one. It's called Shisui. He gets it different. He gets it later, and it was supposed to be a sword of the samurai that he got from a zombie samurai, basically.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, which is pretty dope. That's why I got that one. And then the other one that I have isn't actually Zoro's sword, but it's another dude, and his name is Trafalgar D. Law. So his name is Law, but he has that D in his name.
Yeah.
And so basically what his devil fruit does is basically he's like surgical with it. So he like says room, and then like this room, like this like blue force field like comes around him, and he basically can just like cut anyone up or like switch anybody. So like say if I made a room right here, I could switch Nathan with the lighting right here. So if I just said
so he like teleports other people?
Yeah, he'll like say shambles and he'll move them to over there. Which is cool because he can just drop a rock and then he can teleport somebody to where the rock is and then just stab them right then and there.
Oh, fun.
And then swap them back, and then they'll have that cut on them. So I have his sword, which is pretty dope. But other than that, I have not much other than that. But all of the pops of the Straw Hats I have. But that's mainly it.
That's fun.
And the stuff that you got me, like
Is Chopper like a moose?
He's a reindeer. He is a reindeer, and they call him a raccoon.
It's like this little deer thing that like hulks out into buff deer.
Yeah. So basically, that's cool. He's a deer, and he eats the human fruit. I forget what they call it in the Japanese part, but he eats the human fruit, and so he gets the abilities of a human.
That's Chopper.
Oh, okay. I've seen that.
So he talks as a reindeer, and so everyone's like, "Oh my god, what the hell? This reindeer just talked to me."
Mm-hmm.
And then he has like different like transformations. So he has like one that's like a karate one. He has one that's like a monster looking thing. It's like super big reindeer.
Yeah.
And so that stuff's pretty cool.
Nice.
That's
nice.
also my, and it's funny because his bounty is 50 berries,
So it's not a lot.
while everyone else has over 2 million.
That's when he goes big.
Jesus Christ. Looks
Yeah.
like a Chimera.
What is
Full
that?
Metal.
It's pretty sick, yeah. And then
What a weeb.
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
I know
talk
other
about
things.
that guy. This guy hating over here. Yeah, but yeah, so I guess I can go over all of them. So you have Luffy, Zoro, who is the swordsman, Nami's the navigator,
Mm-hmm.
Sanji, who I was talking about, is the cook, Brook, who I showed you, is
The
the
bones.
musician, the bones,
Mm-hmm.
Chopper is the doctor, actually. So and he's
The Dr. Reindeer?
the doctor reindeer. And then
Wait, the Ranger's a doctor?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
and then they have a dude named Usopp, which is probably like my least favorite character on them, basically. This
Does
this
it do
was-
with the nose?
pre-time skip. Yeah, he has like a
Yeah.
super long nose.
Hmm.
It's pretty. He's their sniper. They have Frankie, who's the person who fixes their ship and makes new ships. This was his he's basically nude the whole time,
Hmm.
which is pretty interesting.
Nice.
And then they have Jinbei, who is their helmsman. But he doesn't show up till way later, but he's a fishman. Like when I said they went to that undersea
Oh, yeah.
island, that's what
Mhm.
they all pretty much look like.
Gotcha.
And then they have one more. Her name is Robin. She is hella bad, but she is their archaeologist. And so basically what she does,
Damn.
yeah, hella bad.
Goddamn.
And she,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you Team Robin?
oh, 100%.
Over Nami?
Yeah.
Other
I mean,
teams?
they're both pretty nice, but
Yeah. It's
Robin's probably the best, my favorite. But anyway, she like reads like this ancient scripture that no one really knows how to read, but you need those to be able to get to the One Piece. So she's pretty
Mm.
overpowered, and she's really wanted by the government.
Does
That's
Luffy
pretty
ever
cool.
clap?
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 Oh no,
Okay.
but like it feels like it. Like there's there's like parts of anime. Like there's one where Nami and Luffy get separated on this island, and then they like meet up again, and she like jumps into his arms. I'm like, you're telling me they haven't fucked? You're telling me?
Yeah, it like cuts to something else. You're like,
I'm like, they had to.
They
So I was
had
like,
some
some.
reunion. Yeah.
yeah,
I think that was everybody.
for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, but they're
So
all really dope.
So here's the weird piece of back matter that I got. This is something that I've never seen before in a back matter.
okay,
We get some facts about Eiichiro Oda. Not too weird, right?
so like a wiki page.
Kind of.
Okay.
And it gets very specific.
Uh-huh.
You know his birthday, January 1st, which is interesting, 1975.
You know more than me.
Because he's Jesus.
We get his Greek and his Chinese astrological sign. He's a Capricorn, but he's also a rabbit, which is the Chinese astrological one.
Ooh.
We get his blood type.
What is
So
it?
It's A.
Whoa.
Pretty basic. Then you get like favorite animal right after blood type. You'd think that would go above that, but no. He likes big dogs. His favorite video games, Puyo Puyo. He likes 70s soul music. His hidden talent is he makes good coffee.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Places he's been.
He probably has to if he's making like 1,000 issues or something.
Yeah, probably. Places he's
working
been.
overtime.
Japan and America. That's it.
Oh, okay.
His favorite real life pirate's Blackbeard. And then his interesting possessions. Legos. Figures. Swords. And a cow skull.
Wow.
But you said his
Why does it
favorite.
start with Legos? That's what I want to know. Why does it go from Legos and ends with cow skull? So,
Wait,
Quite a
did-
spectrum.
Did
yeah.
you say his favorite real life pirate is Blackbeard?
Blackbeard, yeah.
They have in the show they have a Blackbeard.
Is he cool?
Yeah,
pirates real?
he's considered.
Okay. Just checking.
Have we seen Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah, dude,
Yeah, but
That
like,
was real.
clearly canon.
It's
of our
like-
world.
That was a documentary.
I don't remember seeing like, I've never been to like a pirate museum or something or like seen any evidence, you know? I haven't looked into it or anything, but like,
Christopher Columbus.
yeah.
yeah, I guess technically
Didn't
by
you-
definition, but like, he's not, you know, like he's
They
like,
were like
"Arr,
sailors, right?
matey,"
But
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can
they're
have,
sailors.
it's just a guy with a boat.
Yeah.
But if they have
Anyway.
sailors, they're gonna have probably pirates.
Yeah.
Some people that are up to mischievous deeds.
Yeah.
But
So that was One
anyway,
Piece.
that was One Piece.
What would you rate this book, Daniel? We don't do a number scale. We do food sizes or whatever. I would say that this is a sushi conveyor belt place, and I get like a solid amount of sushi, enough to be like, okay, I'm cool with that. I don't need to eat sushi for a while.
I feel like that's pretty good.
Yeah. And it's sushi that I like, because I like everything, like all the contents of this, but I don't know if I would binge it. You know, like you wouldn't eat sushi multiple nights in a row, and that's how I feel.
Okay.
I guess that's fair.
Over the last week, I guess I've been on like One Piece TikTok or something, because I saw this like, you know, the shape of the gum fruit.
Yeah.
I saw someone who had that, but it was a bong. And I'm like, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, that actually is pretty cool.
So it's a gum fruit bong is what I rate it.
Oh, okay, nice. How many hits?
I feel like it's pretty dope.
Whole bowl.
Nice, okay.
What do you rate it?
Oh, dude, I don't know. This is like a golden apple in Minecraft.
Oh,
best of the best, my man.
Wow, gives you powers.
Yeah,
whatever.
dude.
Gives you abilities. Okay, I like that.
In
It's good.
PvP.
For sure.
Yeah, it's my favorite by far.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
This is your favorite anime?
100%.
Really?
If I watched 1,000 episodes, it wasn't really my favorite.
I thought it was
You're
just
like, this is my second
I thought
favorite.
that was just you being a sweat or something.
No, it's my favorite. I just like everything about it.
So at what point in episodes were you like, I fucking love this, it's my favorite?
Because if it's like 400, I'm like, I don't know.
Well, I don't remember the exact episode, but the part where I was telling you where because Nami
the underground?
Yeah,
or the underwater?
No, that's like 800 episodes in.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
But Nami originally actually betrays Luffy a couple times, just because she like
that's her deal.
She literally says, "Yeah, she's a hoe," but she does it for like a reason. Like she's like a person who like works underneath the captain of who is terrorizing her town, and so she had to work for him and like go steal stuff and all of that and bring it back to him.
Yeah,
and so she basically had no choice. But then she asked Luffy for help, and then he gives her his hat.
Yeah, I've seen that
and then
clip.
goes and kicks their ass. And that part was so badass to me that I was just like, this is dope.
When was that?
I mean, I already liked it before, but that was probably the I guess like the hook that just really grabbed me. I'd have to look it up.
Is it before episode 100?
I'd have to look it up. I don't think it is. I think it's like 50 episodes maybe.
Okay, that's fair.
At what? I have so many questions about this.
Go ahead.
At what arc do you think it like gets good?
What
your
arc?
opinion? Yeah.
Probably that one. That one. Yeah,
Okay.
because it just shows
Just character
everyone
development and
being pretty badass. Even Usopp, who's like supposed to be like the weakest one, and he kind of like runs away from a lot of fights. But even then, he's just like he mans up and starts to fight. Basically how it happens is Luffy gets the captain, Zoro will get the right hand man, like they're fighting the right hand man, and then Usopp fights whoever like they're considered sniper. So like they all fight their prospective person, which is pretty interesting to me. But sometimes they switch it up, but most of the time it's like that. So he like did his business on that one. 37.
Episode 37
is the episode where Luffy gave his hat to Nami.
Okay,
Gotcha.
I accept that.
Yeah,
Valid.
but like the reason I like it is because it's not as straightforward as it seems. There's so much background information.
No,
and,
I got that. Yeah,
and like
didn't seem that straightforward, honestly.
yeah. Well, I mean, I guess, but a lot of people are just like, oh, it's just a basic pirate thing. But like, there's so much foreshadowing that you'll recognize as you go on. Like even reading back, I'm like, oh, that's foreshadowing. Oh, that's foreshadowing. Seeing
cool.
all of this stuff, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. And then once you realize it, as you keep going, it's like, holy shit, this is
So you can watch it again, again.
I really could. I've actually thought about it.
Oh my god, dude! If you watch 2,200 episodes,
To be fair, I'll probably go because I think there's only like 5 more years of One Piece. And then once they finish it, I'll probably rewatch it all in one go. But
without sleeping, no bathroom breaks.
Yeah, no breaks.
Marathon.
Just quit school. I just watched One Piece.
Quit life. Yeah.
Carter, I got some One Piece trivia.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh, this is fun. I like this.
Name all the oceans in One Piece.
Oh no, I honestly couldn't even get
Blue?
that. There's the Grand Blue. There's the East Blue, and that's actually low key the only really ones.
Is there no
that I
West
know.
Blue?
I don't think so.
North Blue?
Do you even know the
Antarctic,
answers to
South
this?
Blue? No,
Or
I
d-
just
oh, okay.
I saw them and then I didn't write them down. I just wrote down the
The
questions.
Dead Sea.
All
And the Mediterranean.
The Mediterranean.
I actually don't know all of I know
You don't have to look it
Don't
up.
look it up.
I just want to.
Oh no, yeah, okay, yeah, it is. It's the North Blue, East Blue, West Blue, South Blue, and then there's the Grand Line, which is Okay, this probably gives you a good idea of what the Grand Line is.
You got a map?
So it's basically the world chopped up in quarters,
Mm-hmm.
and then it has
So it's just
the north,
northern,
south, east,
northeast hemisphere.
and then like
That's so much
basically
area.
basically the equator
there's
is
not a
the
lot
Grand
of land.
Line.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like if the polar ice caps melted. Like
Yeah, so
This
basically
is a future story.
dude.
yeah, so basically like the equator is like the Grand Line pretty
Yeah.
much, and like you could see like all those tunnels like in the middle. Like
I don't know why
leading
they
from
need a
each,
fucking
and they go
map to
straight
get
down.
there. Just like
Just go north.
east or
Use
whatever.
a compass and you're like, I think I'm there.
It
Just
gets
follow
pretty.
the fucking sun or whatever.
Is
It gets
there,
pretty
Are there
difficult.
ice pirates? Like
Meaning,
in
like,
the
are there
North
people
Pole,
made of ice?
South Pole.
Oh, like
That
snow,
sail.
like snow
Yeah,
people. There's
Okay.
like Chopper is from a snow island.
He's a
Okay.
reindeer.
Yeah, he's a reindeer, and he's from a snow island. Everyone's dressed up cold. But it's funny because when you get there, Luffy is just still as naked as he always is,
Nice.
and so he's
So
just
you
never
just-
he's just never cold.
Last question, because you kind of answered other ones during the review. Who are the 7 warlords of the sea?
Okay, so the 7 warlords, red-haired Shanks is one of them.
Oh, really cool.
Oh, cool. Good for him.
White. He's the only one that doesn't have a devil fruit. And
Right.
That's just, and he only has one arm, his left arm, which is pretty nuts.
Nice.
And how he like stands up to all of them.
Was he left-handed before?
I don't think so. I think he's
Did
right-handed.
he learn? Okay.
Stop asking dumbass questions.
Whitebeard, the guy who has the earthquake, he's another one.
Nice.
Kaido, who has a dragon devil fruit, is another one.
He
and
turns
that's
into dragon, or he
yeah,
has
he
dragon?
turns into a dragon.
Okay, got it.
So there's like different types of devil fruits. That's crazy.
Sure. Yep.
So it's like a zone fruit, and he turns into a dragon. He's who Luffy's currently fighting. Well, considered now, Buggy the Clown is actually one of those.
Well,
warlords.
Okay.
Hey, no
nice.
cheating.
Okay,
Kobe.
Blackbeard.
Okay.
No, Kobe's an admiral well, not an admiral, like one of
Spoilers,
the.
Carter.
Okay.
General or something?
Blackbeard. Okay.
He's like a general. Blackbeard, who's considered actually the 8th. He's considered the 8th one,
Okay.
but he's supposed to be the main bad guy. Who else is left? Oh, Big Mom. That's another big lady. And so basically, what her devil fruit is
A lot
that
of big ladies.
she gives out pieces of her soul to like inanimate objects and makes them animate.
Oh, fun.
Oh, cool.
And like
Yeah.
they're like cool monsters that obey her and stuff like that. So like her sword like talks and her hat talks.
Oh,
and then she
weird.
has like this cloud that follows her
I like that. Okay.
that she can like fly on, which is pretty cool. And then there's like one more.
The Sandman guy.
Oh, there's a dude. Hawkeye? Not
What?
Hawkeye?
The Avengers.
Is it Doflamingo?
I don't remember. I'm totally blanking his name. It's the dude who cut up Zoro because he's supposed to be the greatest swordsman. He also doesn't have a devil fruit.
He's the 7th.
He's a warlord?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna just look him up so I can tell you. I forget what his name is, but then there was another one that Luffy already beat, and he was basically like some sort of vampire-looking dude, and he had a really annoying laugh, which was funny. Mihawk is the dude with the sword.
Hawkeye would have been crazy crossover.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought it, but it was like
Let
the
me see.
same
You're
thing.
close.
That's Mihawk. Considered
Zoro.
the strongest one. He does look like Zoro. And then there is Boa Hancock, who actually falls deeply in love with Luffy for some reason, which is pretty interesting.
It's a dude.
Boa Hancock is a girl, and she's
Okay.
actually she's bad.
Nice.
Yeah, look.
She's bad. Yep.
Yeah,
Looks like Robin.
yeah, she does look like Robin quite a bit. And then there's Kuma,
Does Luffy have Riz?
dude.
He's doing pretty
Hello,
good.
Riz.
I mean, yeah.
Bro has so many bitches. That's crazy. This guy, his name is Kuma,
Uh-huh.
and then that should have been all of them.
Good job, Carter.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah,
I'm glad
that's crazy.
you're here to tell me everything I wanted to know.
Oh, I totally.
Like if they're snow pirates.
I totally lied.
Or if Shanks is left-handed.
Is he ambidextrous?
I actually totally lied. Shanks, Whitebeard, and Kaido, they're actually not. They're like considered the top 3 people. So like there's the warlords, and then there's the top 3 people of the sea. But all the people that Luffy's beat that are the warlords are Crocodile. That's the sand dude.
I was gonna ask if there's a crocodile guy.
Yeah, that's the sand dude
that
he puts water on and he beats. He was one of the warlords that he beat, so he ended up getting his thing revoked. Gecko Moria is another warlord that he ended up beating. He like basically just creates zombies or something like that. That's where he meets the zombie samurai Zoro, how he gets this sword. And then there's Doflamingo, and this dude just basically controls strings off of his fingertips. And so he ends up beating him too.
He's got drip.
Yeah, and then that should be all of them. But
very good.
It's like a ranking system, and it's pretty cool because like the warlords, they're like allied with Marines, so like Marines don't touch them, and they can basically do whatever. So like those people end up just like taking over a town, and then like forcing them to like they like raise taxes and stuff, and that's why Luffy goes to different towns and beats them up and saves
because of taxes.
Yeah, because of taxes and stuff like
sense.
that. It makes their lives
Wish I could
miserable.
do that
for sure.
So
let's go into the poll list.
Carter. The poll list,
Shove it in your what?
Your box.
Yeah.
The poll list, what did you shove in your box? What'd you get, Nathan?
Small week for me, but I got Doom Patrol, The Unstoppables Doom Patrol number 5, Night Terrors number 4.
The last issue?
It is, but then there's also Night Terrors Night's End.
So it's basically 6.
So yeah, it is. And I'm like, they fucking tricked us. Because there was like a prologue issue, which is pretty relevant.
Then an epilogue issue.
And then there's 4. And number 4 I read today. And it was like, you definitely need to read Night's End. So they like snuck in a 6 issue event and marketed it as a 4.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's genius because it worked. And then I picked up Immortal Thor number 1 by Al Ewing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let me know how that goes.
It's fine.
Oh, really?
I won't pick up number 2.
I got Doom Patrol 5 as well, and Firepower number 26. And Carter, can you get that comic that's right there next to my keyboard? I got The Coal number 1. It's by
C-U-L-L?
Yeah, by Kelly Thompson. Look at this artwork. It looks like fake. It looks like a video game or something. It's like crazy. Just flip to like not the first page, but like in the middle.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm like,
these are like properly rendered people.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this?
Pretty interesting.
Like, is this just like, did someone make a whole video game and then just pose these people and take pictures? Like,
it's like the cinematic thing.
It looks like Berserk in a way.
Yeah, this is cool. Was it good? Whoa.
Yeah, it's like okay. I just heard about it and I thought it looked cool.
Nice.
But yeah, I read that and it was interesting enough. It's kind of got like Stranger Things vibes, I guess. But I mostly was just like getting it for the art, and it was honestly like distracting when I was like when you're trying to read it because I'm like, why does this look so good?
Yeah.
And I was just like skeptical. I'm like, what is this?
What do they do?
This is cheap. Something's wrong here. But yeah, did you read anything?
I just read the 3 things I picked up today.
Okay.
So Immortal Thor, I was like, okay, people like Immortal Hulk, same guy.
Yeah.
Can read Thor. Matt Wilson colors it.
Nice.
And so I looked at it and I was like, is it the same team as like the Thor run that I like? But no, it's just the same colors. Art's really good. I think he tried a little bit too hard. I think he cooked a little too much. Yeah, the writer. Because at one point there's 2 double page spreads back to back of just like one thing.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, which is like just a random nitpick. But basically he reveals that there's gods and then there's like what gods consider gods. And like, that's the new thing.
Gods.
There's gods. And I'm like, not interested.
Okay.
Because there's like a whole thing and it's like, if this is what gods are to gods, then what are mortals to these guys? And it's like, what does that mean? And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care anymore. So, and I think that is supposed to be part of what Jonathan Hickman's gods is supposed to be, because it has that little label, but I still have no idea what the fuck that is. And so I'm just like not interested.
Sure.
But Red Doom Patrol, I think that book's great. I think it's about to like wrap up and connect everything that's been going on so far because it hasn't been very connected.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. And then Night Terrors
Good book.
is good. It just didn't wrap up like I thought it was going to. So I was like, okay, but I think it's fun.
Car, did you get any books?
I don't think I read
any new
anything
books?
No, I don't read books actually.
Okay.
Yeah. You watch anything new? Play anything new?
I played for a video game, Deep Rock Galactic.
Love that game.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
You're basically you're just a dwarf. Like you're like you and your friends can be a bunch of dwarves, and then you fight like monsters, and you like gather minerals and stuff. There's like a gunner dwarf. There's a engineer dwarf who like builds platforms and stuff. There's like a scout who can like shoot because you're in like a dark tunnel, and there's like a dude who like shoots bright ass flashes everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
so which is pretty cool.
Basically, you're miners, and you need certain resources, and so you have to fly to different planets and mine their resources. So you're in caves the whole time, but there's aliens from those planets that are fighting you, and so you have to like fight them off with like guns while you're also like mining for stuff.
Yeah, that was a much better explanation than mine.
It's super fun.
For sure.
And then when you're at the home base, there's a dance floor. You can dance and you can get drunk.
You can drunk.
Oh, nice.
Dude, they have a Flappy Bird in the game. So you're playing a game in a game. It's pretty wild.
Wow.
Yeah, that game's fun.
Any new animes for you, Carter?
Well, I've been actually getting into a lot of like romance type animes, and they're actually pretty interesting. But right now I'm watching this one. It's a very stupid long title, but basically the premise of it is that
What's the title?
I'd have to look it up.
Oh,
it's
okay, never mind.
I get a cheat skill. I get a cheat skill in another world, and it makes me overpowered in a parallel universe.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
Whoa.
And
That's a paragraph.
And I just kind of watched it because I thought the title was funny and I wanted to watch it. So basically the main character, he's really fat. He gets bullied, and then his grandpa leaves him his house and stuff. And he wanders, and then he finds a gateway to another world. And then as soon as he enters, he like gets a bunch of skills, and there's like monsters attacking, and he like kills all of them, but even though he's really low level, which makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then he wakes up the next morning, he's shredded, tall, handsome as hell, and then he goes back to school, and then everyone is just fawning over him, and he's like
in like his
like
first school,
and everything.
Or is it a new school?
Well, at first he goes to his first school, but then he saves a girl. As he was like, when he was fat, he like saved a girl. But meaning by save, like he like all the thugs just beat him up instead.
Mm-hmm.
So that girl comes back and brings him to their school, which is supposed to be top notch school, which is like the Harvard school in their thing. And then he just becomes super overpowered. He like is good at every sport. He's like super good at fighting now. And it's just kind of crazy, which is something interesting that I'm watching.
So if we finished Full Metal Alchemist.
Interesting. Did you like it?
Are you a weeb now?
No.
No.
I thought it was okay. I think it's a little bit too long. If it was me.
They're all too long.
Long.
Well, like it's 64 episodes, which is not very long compared to 1,100 or whatever One Piece is. Yeah. But like it could have been like 35. But it ends.
Hot take.
It ends great, and
it's
so
a very good ending.
A sick ending, and I was like, cool, that was nice. But I like the stuff in the beginning. Don't really like the stuff in the middle. I like the stuff at the end.
Did you like the dude who uses his hands? I forget what his name is. Like he has the scar, or he has like the
Scar.
Yeah, his name's Scar, right?
Yeah, the Ishvalan.
Yeah, that dude's pretty dope, isn't he?
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, I've finished it, and so we started like just casually another one. It's a 13 episode anime called Corpse Princess. Have you heard of that one?
I've heard of it. I haven't watched
Sophie likes it. Basically, the premise is that if you die, but you die with like crazy regrets, you come back to life as like a monster. And there are people that are called
corpses.
Hishigame, Shirogame, something like that. And there's
Shinigami?
Shinagamis. There's Shinagamis, and there's Shinigame Hime, which is the corpse princess girl, and she hunts the other dead people with regrets that turn into monsters.
Interesting.
And so far, it's fine.
It's pretty cool.
Sounds she fun. Really likes it.
Are you guys caught up on Zom 100?
Yeah, they didn't have an episode last week. Right?
Yeah, it's been like delayed.
I looked.
They had the aquarium episode.
Yeah,
and that was cool.
That was pretty dope. then I was like, what the hell? There's a shark with legs.
Yeah, the shark with legs. I was so excited to see that. Me and Sophie were like, oh my God, I think this is the episode of the shark with legs.
Yeah, no, that's like one of my favorite chapters.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed when it didn't come out another one. I was like, dang it.
Yeah,
But yeah, it
like
comes back this Sunday. I looked it up.
Yeah, it's been like skipping weeks, you know?
Mhm.
Like we should be on like 7 right now, but
Yeah.
I read Nathan. I read all the books that you let me borrow.
Oh, yeah. So
I reread Fireflies,
fish flies.
Fish Flies. And now that like I got to the end, like and you get like the hook or
Yeah.
whatever, I'm like, oh, this is cool. But I'll still probably just trade weight. you
That's
know?
fair.
So I gave it another shot. It was better than just the preview.
Yeah.
I'll give it that. And it flows really well.
It's crazy that those are like a thing.
Previews?
Fish flies.
Oh. Are they?
Yeah. If you read the thing at the
I
back that
didn't.
Jeff Lemire wrote, he's like, God, those things are horrifying and disgusting. Basically, it's in Florida, right? Something like that.
Probably.
And there's this thing called fish flies, and they reproduce at such like a high rate that they cover the ground in like buildings and stuff.
This is a real thing.
This is a real thing. And this guy made like a comic that involves them, and someone turns into like a human fish fly.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I like it. I'm going to keep reading it.
Yeah. I read Night Terror Superman #1.
Love Tom Riley.
Crazy good.
He's so good. Yeah. So did you read 1 and 2?
No, just 1.
Okay.
I was because I didn't
2's
care.
fine.
I didn't care for the
Look at
story. I
these-
just wanted to
these
look at it.
things.
Yeah, is that the fish
Nasty
fly?
looking.
Yucky.
Yeah, that's what it says though.
Yeah, they like reproduce like super fast, I guess. And so
They be
just
fucking.
awesome. Yeah, they be fucking.
Yeah.
I read Lex Luthor, The Last Days of Lex Luthor.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little dense, and I don't think I care about Lex Luthor very much.
It's not really, it's Superman Last Days of Lex Luthor. So it's not, but it's a Superman book. It's more about the predicament that he's in, you know?
Sure.
And the moral.
It's like
Question.
it's like good for sure.
Yeah.
I just like I'm not like
Do you see all the Brian Hitch cityscapes, the double page spreads? And you're like, wow, there's a lot of buildings here.
yeah, no, he's good.
Yeah, he's great. Okay.
But weird work, Nathan. This shit was so sick. I can't believe you didn't finish
Dude,
it.
I did not care for it.
Dude, this is like what Shaky Kane like is meant to do.
I'm glad that you like it. Issue 2 came out like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
so.
I know. I need to get it. It's like it's a sci-fi murder mystery, you know, and
Mhm.
I feel like that's like right up his alley. He's drawing aliens and shit. There's like some violence in it. It's like pretty well written. It was dense at the beginning, but
Yeah.
like once like there's less like captions in the second half, it just like flows really well. His
Give me the-
colors are kick ass.
Give me the rundown because I couldn't tell you a single thing about the book.
There's a main character who his partner was just killed, and where
It's-
he was killed, there was 2 other people
Mm-hmm.
that were killed. One of them was like, he's like a part of some mob or something, and like the other one was like the assistant to some billionaire or whatever. And they just go interview like the billionaire to find out like if he knew anything, to see
Mhm.
if he was involved with like some drug trade or something. Because it's just like bizarre that they were together,
Yeah.
you know, and
I think
they're
that's where
all
I fell
killed in
off.
the same spot. He gets like a new partner who is red. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like a blue person and like a red person.
Very fun.
They're aliens, and it was like mostly just kind of like the settings and stuff were
Yeah.
all really cool looking, and I think I'm just like a sucker for his art, you know, and because like this is better than like the beef,
Yeah.
and I feel like this is probably like more of like what he wants to draw. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
probably. Mhm.
It's like I feel like it could have been like done like the Marvel method where he draws everything first and then they write it.
They just
almost.
like figure out. Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's cool.
yeah, that shit's awesome.
Cool. Tell me how it goes.
Did you watch anything?
We started watching Parks and Rec.
Nice.
This will be like my 3rd watch, I think, of it.
Wow.
And we already got through the first season, which admittedly is a bit rough, but good show. I'm excited to watch it
It
again.
is like a little, but it's like it's got like hints of it.
It's got like hints of some good stuff. You
of
know?
like the sense of humor that you
Yeah,
need
but
for
they
it.
like really dial in on it, and they make the characters a lot more like enjoyable. And there's different like story arcs going for each one and stuff. So like by the end, you're like, I love every character. You know?
Yeah.
But in the first season, it's like, and it's only 6 episodes, so you really only meet.
Is it really? Damn.
Yeah. So and then every other episode's like 20 something. So
Every other
I'm
season.
like-
yeah.
yeah. So
How many seasons are there?
like 6. There's 7,
Oh,
but I don't
the
count
last
7.
one? You don't count 7?
No, because they came back. You know, it ended on 6. Perfect ending. 5 years happen or something. They come back. It's in the
Lame.
future.
There's a time jump.
There's a time jump. 10 years.
Time skip,
Everything
yeah.
sucks. So
It didn't suck.
it sucks more.
It's not as good.
I think it sucks. Maybe we'll try it. If
Are
she
you gonna
likes.
skip it?
I don't want to watch it.
Wow.
The 7th season. Yeah.
Damn.
Is that like your favorite show?
Yeah.
Like one of your favorite
Damn.
shows?
Yeah. Up until season 6.
And you just skip a season.
No, I've watched the season.
He's not a purist. He skips
Yeah.
the fillers.
No, I know where the ending is.
If I were to
that's
skip
just what I
it,
know.
I like would miss something, and I don't like that.
So if One
I've
Piece,
seen it before, but if you were to rewatch it and you're like, this season sucks, I could skip it.
real quick. So if One Piece ends next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like 5 years later, you're a grown man, more so than you are now, and they just bring One Piece back. They bring Two Piece. You know what I mean? There's another season. You're gonna watch it, right?
If it
Okay.
if it was made by Oda, the
Yeah,
same
by
person,
Oda.
100%.
Oda
Okay.
comes out of retirement, makes
Dude,
makes
100%,
Two Piece.
100%. Well, like that same thing happened with like Naruto, and then when they made Boruto. To be fair, I watched all of Naruto, and I didn't watch.
You watched
Boruto.
all of Naruto too?
Yeah.
How many is that?
That's not shit compared to.
That's like 700
Piece.
episodes.
Oh, it's just 700 episodes.
Well, then there's also Bleach, which is also Bleach has like I think 800 episodes or something, and I was trying to get into that. I got like 200 episodes in, and then I kind of like drifted off of it.
To me, it seems like you just typed anime and then you filtered by most episodes and you just started watching those.
It took him a while to get to One Piece.
Well, I started with Naruto. It was my first ever anime, and then I watched
The One Piece.
the 700 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're considered the big three, which is Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And I watched Naruto
Trinity.
and then One Piece, and then I was like, well, maybe I should just watch Bleach because I saw a bunch of like edits on stuff, and I was like, oh, that's dope. So maybe I should watch it. But then I got to this one arc, and I got so tired of it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so boring. I need to watch something else. So I just haven't
Okay,
got back
but
to it.
let's elaborate on Two Piece. Okay, let's say they do Two Piece and you watch it and you're like, that's not my favorite. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to rewatch all of One Piece. And you get to the original ending. Would you rewatch
Two Piece.
the Two Piece part?
Well, if it's canon from One Piece,
It would be canon.
Yeah, I'd probably watch it.
Yeah, so
But
you're
you've already watched
You're
it.
just a little bitch.
If you know you're not going to like it, why would you watch it? You know?
Well, I mean, I guess if I recently watched it, like say if I recently watched Two Piece and then went back to One Piece and watched the entirety of it, it would still be fresh in my mind. I probably wouldn't rewatch it. But like all of the filler episodes that I missed,
yeah.
or all the filler episodes that I watched, but what, it was like a year and a half ago, I'd probably rewatch just in case maybe I just was being harsh on it, or maybe there's a part of it that
or
was
if you do a rewatch
foreshadowing.
with like your kids, like
Mhm.
when One Piece
100%.
ends, you got to be
My
like,
kids are watching One Piece.
Are you watching it with them?
Yes.
Thousands of hours.
It's not-
it's their homework.
Yep. I'm like, all right, kids, get together.
That's crazy.
Episode 1155.
Maybe I was harsh on season 7, but I think it's my Two Piece. Not as good. Anyway.
Hey, let's talk about Blue Beetle.
Yeah, Blue Beetle.
Sick. I watched it today.
What do you think?
Did you watch it by yourself?
I did.
How'd that go?
Literally by
lame.
himself. He's the only one in the theater.
Yeah, literally. Wow.
Really? That
There's
sounds sick as
there's
fuck.
nobody in the theater.
Yeah.
Because I bought the ticket and I was like, oh, damn, there's literally nobody else in this theater. So I joined in there and I walk in and I'm like looking around. I'm like, oh, there's nobody
Where'd
in
you
there.
sit? Like first
right,
row?
Like right.
Or,
No,
like
not
middle
first
or that
row.
middle row?
Well, I went to the one on Crossroads. So
Mhm.
I was put my feet on the seat because they had no recliners. And I was
Ooh,
like, oh,
yikes.
this is kind of lame.
They don't have recliners there?
No,
not
dude.
in
Well,
everyone.
they do, but not in like the main.
They're
like,
called
digital
ultimate
ones.
rockers. When you select your seat, it looks like a recliner.
Yeah, it has
So
to have
when I
like
went and
the
watched
little
Talk
logo.
to Me, I didn't get fucking recliners. And I'm like,
Ooh.
oh, ultimate rocker. That must be a recliner. Also, the little icon where you
Lady
pick your
Rock.
seats looks like a recliner.
Damn,
It's not.
that's
Rob you.
fucked.
Yeah, so it was kind of lame, but it was fine. I really liked it. I thought it was cool. I didn't know I don't think I've really watched any trailers on it. I just kind of went
That's
in
good.
just to watch it.
Mhm.
I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I liked how they didn't make it like every other non super hyped superhero.
Mm-hmm.
Like how I guess Shazam is the only one I can think of, which is actually a pretty big superhero, but it just
Yeah,
didn't make it like cringy, I guess.
Oh yeah,
I had my expectations pretty low.
sure.
I was like, this will probably be like a 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
And then I left and I was like an 8. Pretty
Yeah,
good.
I thought it was like
Yeah.
an
Worth
8.
the watch. I had a good time. You know, I think that it's a pretty good representation of like Mexican families, Latino families,
100%.
stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Where they're all together.
Like
and-
there are people I'm watching and I'm like, oh, that's this person I know. You know,
Yeah.
like
Sarah's like, I think they're making the Mexicans like a little over the top. I'm like, no,
I think they nailed it.
Dude, I
no,
laughed.
they nailed it.
I
Like,
laughed
you're
so
just being
hard
racist.
If
on
I
some of
wasn't
the
Mexican, I'd be
scenes.
like, this is racist towards Mexicans.
George-
yeah,
George Lopez was amazing.
He's
I loved
great.
him.
He like definitely steals the show. He's like super fun.
Yeah,
and I think
that could have gotten really bad.
it could have been really
100%.
bad, but I also like that they put like just ridiculous like facial hair and like regular hair on him because if he looked like George Lopez from George Lopez the show, I wouldn't be able to like
picture
a
him.
little distracting.
But they made him like weird looking enough to where I could be like, okay, this is like a crazy uncle.
He had like a mullet with like a nice ass goatee.
Yeah, he likes trucks. Like he's like a truck guy, you know. He like hates the government.
He named his
you
truck
know.
Taco.
Yeah, because it's a Tacoma.
Yeah,
I know that makes sense.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't
Sophie
think I put
explained
that
that to me, and
together.
I'm like, whoa.
I didn't put
Now
that
I want a
together.
taco.
I thought he just named it Taco.
I thought he did that too.
Yeah, and I'm like, because it's Mexican. I don't
That's
know.
a racist thing.
I know. I thought it was.
That's
I
what
thought it was.
assumed. I know. Well, you did too.
I thought it was racist too.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, taco, really?
I'm like, yeah, that's the best thing you'd think of. But no, it's a Tacoma. So
If you think about this movie, it's basically just Ant-Man.
yeah,
I saw
basically.
that, and I disagree.
How so?
It's alien tech.
Okay, but it's
It's
tech
an
that they
alien-
got from some billionaire or some like CEO guy.
Yeah.
Sure, but this billionaire CEO guy isn't teaching him how to use it.
Okay, yeah, that's like
They
the
haven't
one
used it
That's the one
themselves.
discrepancy.
That's not the one discrepancy.
Yeah,
There's
well,
an alien.
they got their own suit.
There's an alien within there. You know, that's not a thing that was in Ant-Man. What were the other things?
It was like Spider-Man and Ant-Man built
He
together.
like gets involved with like someone that's related to the CEO.
Yeah,
gets
he's
involved with someone-
he's trying to fuck
Oh,
the
okay,
daughter
alright,
and
that's
the
fair,
girl,
fair,
the
fair,
nephew.
fair.
He fights someone that's just another one of him.
That's just
you know?
every superhero movie.
He fights the
That's true.
prototype. Yeah, that was
Which I
pretty
didn't
basic.
like. Okay, actually, I want to talk about
And
that.
he's trying to get some money for his family at first, you know.
So is everybody.
He graduated
Capitalism,
in
Daniel.
pre-law.
Nah,
Yeah.
not everyone's struggling.
It's just capitalism.
Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. So at the end, they get the code from Blue Beetle,
The code.
from the Scarab.
Mhm.
Yeah,
They're hooking them up. They're getting the code. They put it into OMAC.
yeah,
Mhm.
Now OMAC can just fucking create shit out of nothing.
because he got the code.
Yeah, you
The
got
code does that.
I guess so.
I'm like, what? What kind of code is
yeah,
this?
I know.
And I was like,
That's what
Okay.
Python does, dude.
I figured, like, that's some crazy C++. But no, like, I was like, okay, they need the code so that the OMAC shit will like work better, you know? Which like, yeah, it did. But I thought the whole point was like to get it to become compatible with like a human body. And I was like, okay, this makes sense. I fuck with it. And then he gets the code in the OMAC and he can like create swords out of nothing. And I figured that was only like a Blue Beetle thing because it's alien tech, you know?
Yeah.
But the OMAC isn't
Yeah.
necessarily alien tech.
It's just like comic explanation.
I know. I just wish that like the OMAC, even though he was like super powerful because of like human like militaristic technology,
Yeah.
I think that would have been a more interesting fight than just like literally like a clone, like literally copy paste code, you know, put into OMAC. I think
They had to find
Yeah.
some, you know, motivation for the villain because like the Scarab did connect to him, you know, so
Yeah.
they can't take it out or whatever. And
Well,
so,
I mean, I guess because it
and the whole thing
showed
is they're trying to replicate it.
the Scarab was like when they were fusing us. That's what the Scarab said.
Yeah.
That he looked into his memory, so they connected some sort of way because whatever the name of the Scarab was. He said like during the
Kaiju.
transfusion, it was like kaiju or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But during he like saw his memories, so I'm assuming that's probably something to do with it. But
Yeah.
they made it seem like the code was it.
So overall, like the acting wasn't like spectacular,
Okay.
and
so
the dialogue was pretty boring.
I think the acting was good,
I thought the acting was pretty
but the
alright.
dialogue they were given was tough.
Sure.
Because I think that every part of the family was done with like a lot of heart and like very, very genuinely, you know,
Sure.
like the dad feels very genuine, like, you know, sort of dad character. And I think he embodies that.
yeah.
And like the mom, I think is like a pretty good representation of like a Mexican mom and stuff like that. Like I think all of the different aspects of the family was like pretty good and like a snarky sister and stuff. But like the stuff that they were given to say sometimes was like, this feels a little weak. You
Yeah.
know? But I was really sold on like the whole family dynamic
Sure.
of everything.
I liked it.
Yeah, that felt genuine.
Yeah, and so I think that they're actually really good actors that were just given like some shit.
Sure.
I thought they were good actors, and
Yeah.
then I think I liked the dialogue. I laughed a lot because of the dialogue. Just
Some
well, also
some of the
because-
jokes were pretty good. There's some hit and miss ones, but like yeah, just like some of the normal shit. Like when he's in like that dream sequence or whatever, and he's like,
That one's
What
pretty
will I
wild.
do if you're not here? And he's like, you look in your heart or whatever he says. And I'm like,
Well,
this is what we're doing.
Did you guys notice he didn't like actually point at his heart? He pointed it at like, so your heart's over here. He pointed like over here.
Oh yeah, it was like he pointed to like his his
he
right
pointed
shoulder,
at his
like,
wrong
armpit.
shoulder.
Like it's over there. I thought that immediately. I'm like, that's not where your
I
heart
was like,
is.
that's not where his heart is.
I was like, yep, checks out.
It's
I
in
didn't
your
even notice.
it's in your pecs, man.
Do the incline bench.
But I liked how whenever they confronted like the bad guys, they were like, "Hey, pendejo," and just a bunch of bad words all the time. It was pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Dude, their house got fucked up
Oh,
the entire movie.
100%.
Yeah, it got
There's
wrecked.
Not even like
holes
just because of
on
Blue Beetle
fire.
stuff. Like he like shoots through the ceiling. And they're like, I guess we'll just put a tarp over it.
And it
Whatever.
comes
we'll figure it out
down in
later.
a different hole.
He comes out a different hole. At one point, George Lopez's character gets so mad that he like throws like a cup or a shoe or
He
something.
threw a shoe,
It fucking
yeah.
hits like the spice cabinet and everything's falling down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh damn, like there's a lot of mess in this house right now. And then it just bursts on fire. And I was
Yeah.
like, shit.
Well, there's nothing nice.
They really fucked up that childhood home.
Definitely. When the scarab like first like binds with him or whatever, like it looks kind of like a symbiote like going
Yeah.
over his face. I'm like, this is creepy. It's weird. I'd
Yeah.
be like concerned. Like I wouldn't be like, yeah. I'd be like, what the fuck?
I liked
Because it's
how-
coming over his face and
I
shit.
liked how everyone was freaking out as soon as it jumped at his face.
Yeah, they all
And then, like George Lopez starts screaming, like a girl. He's like, ah!
then they all
He's like,
like
he's possessed.
I know, which is exactly what a Mexican family would think.
Yeah.
Like, he's possessed. And yeah, so I was like, that all checks out. I like that.
And then when they like see the scarab in his back when it's like powered down, they're like,
Yeah.
because it looks really fucking gross.
yeah.
I think mom and grandma are like, put that shit away.
I forgot how bad it looks. You know.
yeah.
I like how they were like, it went up his culo.
Yeah, they keep saying it goes up his ass. Yeah, that was funny.
Can we talk about how badass the grandma was though?
Oh, yeah.
Pulls out this
Total guilt
giant-
vibes, dude.
Yeah.
100% guilt. Bro, she had a dumpy on her. And she just was like fucking
the Nana
holding this
wagon, bro.
machine gun.
Yeah, they do like the badass grandma thing equal funny, and I was like, it is
She's
pretty
like,
funny.
she's like, fuck you, imperialist. Which is
Yeah.
funny.
She's like, you don't know a lot about Nana. You know?
Something that I thought was distracting about like the design of Blue Beetle is like when he talked,
Yeah, like the chin
the
piece just moves
jaw
down.
moved. Yeah, it made it seem like he had like a big mouth or something.
Like he talks really loud.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like a Deadpool thing where like they look like the mouth
I
part
think
stretched a bit.
I think they tried to do that.
All they did was like the jaw
But it's
part
a-
was moving.
I
it's a
saw that, but I
practical
didn't
suit.
even really feel
It's
it.
not like a CGI suit at all. And so I think that's
the talking part is CGI, but
Maybe,
like the
yeah.
suit itself is like practical for like the still stuff.
okay.
You know?
I
Suit looks
noticed,
great.
I noticed it, but disregarded it.
Yeah, I
It's-
just kept looking at it.
Yeah, it's not super distracting, but I think the suit was really cool looking.
After they
So.
became one and he like got in his suit, I thought it was really dope. But the first time he like became Blue Beetle, I thought it was weird, like how he suited up.
Yeah.
But after they became one, his suit up was pretty dope.
Yeah, I like that.
all the fucking Ted Cord shit,
Loved it, dude.
I fucking nerded out,
they
dude.
nailed that whole vibe.
Absolutely.
Like
Like, all the retro suits and shit and all of his
The
gadgets.
retro,
Oh, yeah.
the retro futurism gadgets and
That's
stuff.
pretty
I
sick.
think was super fun. He's got all these like weird weapons.
They
You
had
know,
like the
The
Dan Garrett suit and then the Ted Cord one, which was really sick.
What was
Yeah.
the one with the pillow?
I think that's a suit that the Ted Cord took on an adventure.
Did you guys
maybe?
see the after credit scene? Or we
Yeah.
gonna talk about
Yeah.
that?
I think that's just a suit that Ted Cord left with, and he never
gotcha.
came back. That's what I assume. I guess
Yeah.
Why is there?
because maybe he
pillow
has
there?
like an upgraded version of what the middle suit was, which was the
Maybe.
Ted Cord
Did
suit.
you
That's
guys-
what I assume.
Did you guys geek out over the Blue Beetle like ship thing?
The
or-
ship.
That was so cool.
I did not expect that shit at all. But when I did, I'm like, oh my God.
When I
and
saw
then they
it,
got in it.
they got
and
in
then
it.
They flew around.
They're flying it. It turns into a fucking beetle
Beetle.
thing,
yeah.
and it's
dude.
walking around. I'm like,
What do
this
they
is
call that
so
thing?
good. I don't know actually.
Like
I'm
what
gonna
do
look it
they
up.
like write it on the
He-
front?
no, he's got like, he calls it something.
She wrote something in the front. I couldn't really get it. I thought it
Yeah.
was
It's
called
called
like
the Bug.
Enema or something like that.
No way. It's something
Ted
else.
Cord's iconic ship, the Bug, is part of this Blue Beetle movie.
Anyway, yeah, that was really sick.
It looked great.
I thought it looked really cool.
It's
They
so
had-
fun.
They had that fucking painting of like
The family.
My
family.
family.
And I swear to God, I think they're setting up Jason Sudeikis to be it.
God, I would love that so much.
Because that's like a casting I had in my head. You know, I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, I don't know, maybe I age out of it or whatever. But
I'd have to see it again. I didn't have that in mind.
and we don't even know if like maybe they had like an alternate after credit scene, like before like James Gunn took over or whatever, because they might not like move forward with this because it's like bombing.
Yeah. But
I would love it.
I think it's hardly the movie's fault that it's bombing.
Yeah, no, it's just like
because it's like people know James Gunn's coming on. He's starting his thing with Superman. They just like kind of had this movie in the works. They're not going crazy with like marketing for it really. And there's also a strike. So it's like you're not really getting much promotion from the actors. So there's like a lot of...
I'm not saying that. I don't think promotion from these actors would really help it that much.
George Lopez, he's pretty big.
Yeah, I guess.
We all have the same collective memory.
Do you follow George Lopez?
We all have the same memory of waking up and seeing George Lopez.
Yeah.
It's everything.
And then he's like on like the trampoline in slow motion.
Take a little...
Yeah. Yeah. So... I think that would have helped like a little bit if there's like some
when you
more...
watch fucking Nickelodeon too long.
Yeah, when you fall asleep, you wake up. Everybody, it's
like 2 a.m. is Lopez.
Yeah, it's the only common memory across everybody. So
also like Adult Swim, like the fucking creepy ass like commercials that they had.
Dude, those are so freaky.
Those are scarring.
Some of them.
Anyway,
but yeah, I liked it a lot. And that was great, and I hope we get more of them. Honestly,
yeah, and that seemed like a closing statement, but like. Dude, he like kept getting like new weapons that he was like using like throughout this. Like I thought it was just gonna be like a sword and like some guns or whatever.
Well, that's his whole thing. Yeah,
I know, but it felt like it was cool. Like I loved it. Like it didn't get boring. Like it seemed like he kept coming up with new stuff.
Yeah, the sonic blast things were cool.
Yeah,
I like the big swords. The 2 swords turning into one big sword.
Yeah, that scene was pretty sick.
I really enjoyed like the arc of like the scarab. The alien, because it just immediately wants to kill people.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah. And then and then Jaime wants to kill a person, and the suit's like, we don't do that. And then the suit talks in Spanish at one point, and I was like, that's pretty nice.
That was pretty funny.
I like that.
What do you say?
I don't know. I don't speak Spanish.
Well, it had subtitles. What are you talking about?
It did have, I don't know. I can't remember. But it was cool because I don't know. It became Mexican. I don't know.
What did he say? I literally just watched it. Well, they were whenever.
It was third act for sure.
Whenever Milagro, which is funny because that's the name of a tequila. I
oh, really?
Funny.
Nice.
Well, then they separated from Jenny, and then Jaime and Milagro, they got together with those people.
Yeah.
That's when they started saying, I think he just said like, let's do this in Spanish or something like that. I can't really remember.
This is a cool
or something like that.
They do like the Spanglish that I feel like a lot of Mexican families do.
Which is fun.
It'll be like English, like one line, and then like the same character still speaking, like it'll switch to like a Spanish thing.
And not every Spanish phrase was like subtitled, which is cool because like sometimes you just don't need it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like everyone knows what pendejo means.
Yeah, stuff like that. And then I thought the action was really good. I was a little bit worried that it would be a little hard to follow.
Yeah, no.
Because of how much like the suit's changing, and you know, I don't know if it was like a super big budget movie or anything like that, but I thought it was really fluid action.
Yeah.
Especially in the underground scene where he has to like fight all those guys, and he's like really dialed in with the suit. He's like flipping people around and doing all these cool moves. He makes
like a hammer when they like throw like a grenade or something at him, and he just like smashes it down.
Yeah,
that was pretty dope.
So.
I kind of wanted him to like make a scythe. I thought that would have been pretty dope.
Yeah, cool.
That's just kind of like my geek thing.
Yeah, it's probably possible.
Because the suit said like it's literally whatever your imagination can think of, and I was like, that seems kind of overpowered.
Yeah, it seems weird that it's like alien technology can do that, but apparently there's supposed to be like a Green Lantern in the opening scene of this movie that you see just in space. Maybe it looks like a green comet.
Actually?
Apparently that's like a thing that happened.
Like it was in it?
Like you don't see Green Lantern, but you see a thing that's supposed to be Green Lantern.
Lazy.
Yeah.
Like where they were like mining out the scarab?
Yeah, like the opening scene where they're trying to like shoot lasers into the pyramid or whatever it was. Maybe there's just like a green looking comet or whatever. So
I didn't notice it.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah,
better than I thought.
Pretty good.
Yeah. What are we gonna read next week? What are we gonna read next week, Nathan?
Is it up to us?
It is.
All right.
But hear me out.
Okay.
So we don't have anything for the next couple of weeks, which means...
Are we going to do a themed month?
We sure are.
Yes.
With your approval, but yes.
Okay. Yes, let's do it.
Yes.
What's the theme?
comic books
Mm-hmm.
that were made into movies, but you didn't know they were comic books.
Love it. I've been wanting to do this for a long time.
I know. It's time, Nathan.
Do we know what we're going to do for that?
I have a list,
Okay.
but I had a feeling that you wanted to start with Red.
Yes. Let's do Red.
Red. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Did you know that movie Red was a comic book?
Red, the one with
Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis?
Yeah.
Oh, was it a comic book?
Yeah, it was a comic
that's
book originally.
Yes, sir. We're reading comic about old people.
Yeah.
Was that one that you guys literally went to go see as a movie and then found out that later that it was a comic? Or?
Yeah, I didn't know
Yes.
it was a comic at the time.
Interesting. Is there any other ones on the top of your head that you can think of?
The Mask.
The one
With Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
That's a
I
comic
like
book.
to do that.
Snowpiercer. You probably don't know what that movie
Yeah,
is.
it's the train one.
Yeah, the train.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
Really?
Comic
I haven't
book.
seen it.
I
I
had
haven't
to-
seen it either. I'm
I
surprised
had,
you have.
I had to watch, because I had
You
to
saw
watch
Ice
it.
Train?
Ice Train.
Yeah, I saw that because I took a film class in high school
Dude, sick.
and I had to watch a movie, and I was just scrolling through Netflix and I was like, oh, that's dope. So I watched it.
The assignment was just watch a movie?
Yeah, it was watch a movie and then write about it. So
Why
that's
did you watch
basically what I did.
Snowpiercer?
Dude, there was a reason I had
Chris
to watch
Evans?
Snowpiercer. Probably.
Yeah,
Mm.
it seems like it's pretty
There's
good.
a reason I watched it. I don't remember why.
Mm.
Like, I think she put out a list that I had to choose from,
Yeah.
but I chose that one. And that's like one of the weird movies that I've seen that not a lot of other people have seen. So I'm
Yeah.
really proud about that.
Have you ever seen 300?
No.
The one with the
Uh,
Spartans.
Like, this is Sparta.
And he
Oh,
kicks him.
well, I know what it is, but I don't think I don't remember it if I
Yeah.
watched it or not. I
That
don't
was a
think so.
comic. Have you ever seen the movie Wanted?
Where he curves the bullet.
It's got James McAvoy
I don't think
and,
so.
and Angelina Jolie.
Okay, that's one of them.
That's before your time.
Big movie.
Bullet. I
Big
don't
movie, I
think so.
swear. Kick Ass.
Oh,
Kick
yeah,
Ass.
I mean, that's
Kick-Ass
pretty
is cool.
obviously a
We did
comic book.
Kick Ass
Well,
already.
did you watch Kick-Ass and then found out it was comic later? I feel like you
That-
guys would have
Well,
known.
I wasn't
figured
into
it
comics
probably-
when it came out.
I
And I didn't
guess
even
that-
see it until after I was already into comics. So,
Really?
Mhm.
I felt like you would have been into comics by then.
Yeah.
nah, that was like high school-ish.
Scott
Dang.
Pilgrim versus the World. That was a comic book.
I don't
Oh,
know
did you see that there's a trailer for, like, they're making an anime of that?
He doesn't know what it is.
That's
Scott Pilgrim?
I don't know what
Dang,
it is.
you got some homework. You got,
Yeah.
you got film class?
I'll watch it.
This is your film class.
Yeah.
Yeah, send me movies. I'll watch
What other ones? Is that the book of them or?
Atomic Blonde.
Yeah, that was a comic book.
Snowpiercer's on here.
I feel like the
There's
Mask
a
is
movie
gonna be
called
interesting.
Oblivion, which was like a Tom Cruise movie. That was a
Oh.
comic, I guess.
Is that Edge of Tomorrow? Was that what that turned it into? Oh, okay.
No, that was something else.
Okay.
It was just some movie with him on like another planet or something.
Okay.
And I guess Men in Black is a comic, but
Yeah.
we're just gonna do like 3 or 4.
all right. Cool. Well, we'll start with Red.
All right.
All right.
I feel like the Mask is going to be an interesting comic book, though.
Yeah, the comic was like weird
Wild.
looking.
Weird
Like
looking?
dirty.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like real grimy shit.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting.
So we'll do that next week.
Cool. Thanks
everybody,
everyone
for
for watching.
Bye-bye.
Thanks Carter for coming on.
Yeah.
Of course,
We
thank you
gotta-
for having me.
For
Yeah.
manga waiters.
Did the best I could to fit in 1,000 episodes
The
in like
Manga
30
Men?
minutes.
Yeah. Episode 2 of Manga Men.
I'll be back.
We got a link tree in the bio. You can like, comment, subscribe, stuff like that. You can send us recommendations. What comic was made into a movie that a lot of people don't know about?
Yeah.
Tradewaiterspod@gmail.com.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Peace.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.